Hello again, everybody, finally, and welcome to the very special Rockin' Pneumonia and the Boogie Woogie Flu edition of the Jim Cornette Experience. We're still alive, folks, just barely. And to join me, what we're going to do today is what we don't have in energy, we're going to make up for in nastiness. And to join me, you know who he is, you know what he does, you know the whole intro. I ain't got the fucking wind. O'Brien, please save me.
Aloha and fuck you. There's your nastiness.
Yeah. There you go. Well, just talk a little longer so I can drip some. Boy, what if... I'm sorry we're late, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize for our schedule of podcasting excellence being interrupted over the last week or 10 days. I can't even keep track of when it's been. I know we did the experience last week, and I was just starting to come down with the shit, and that aired, and then we were going to do the drive-through as we usually do to come out on Monday, and I was in the throes of agony, and we delayed it a couple of days, and we recorded it, and I had the coronavirus and et cetera, but we finally recorded it. I was feeling a tad bit better, and then you said, well, I'll turn this around real quick so we can get it out to the people, and then you went down. You went down, what was that, Wednesday?
That was Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, yeah.
Yeah, and so then I started feeling worse. I'll tell you why here in a second, but I kept looking on Twitter for you to post the show so that I could retweet it. Of course, every time I looked at Twitter, I got in a fight with somebody else. We'll talk more about that today, too. Fucking morons. But then finally you put it up like Thursday night at midnight, and I said, oh, God, Brian, because you called me that day. You said, I've been so sick. And all of Last Manor was plagued and taken down with the various ailments. You've had some different ailments from some different orifices than I have, but it's all amounted to shit of various kinds.
Everyone in this house, other than Suzanne and Swami, has vomited in the last week.
Well, I wasn't at least vomiting because I have nothing to vomit. I've lost 11 pounds in 10 days. I'm now officially way skinnier than I was when I got in the fucking business 37 years ago, 8 years ago, or whatever the fuck it was. Anyway, so we got the drive-through up, and then you went back to bed, and then I started feeling a little better from the nasal congestion, although it's still dripping, and the croupiness, although it's still there, but I was still weak. And then I think it was either Thursday and Friday. Yes, it was Thursday and Friday. Wednesday night through Friday afternoon, I said, what the fuck? I can't sleep now. And I had been weak, like I said, but I was feeling a little better, but then all of a sudden I couldn't fucking sleep. And Wednesday night I slept like 3 hours. And Thursday night, I figured I'll be able to sleep tonight. And I was way past tired, but I wasn't sleepy. And I was pacing around at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And then Friday, which was yesterday as we're recording this, I think, I mentioned to Stace, I said, I can't fucking sleep. I've slept 6 hours in the last 48. And I said, I'm still all clogged up and I'm blowing my nose so much that I got nosebleeds everywhere. And she said, well, you're taking that Sudafed. They make meth with that. I'm like, well, what the fuck? God damn it. So then I get off the fucking sinus medicine, and last night I went to bed at like 7:30, went to sleep by 9 o'clock, and I slept for 12 hours. So now I can't take any medicine, so and at least I'll be able to sleep. But then the fucking symptoms are coming back. So anyway, we're doing the experience today, and do you plan to puke over the next few hours, or do you think you'll get this up by tomorrow, Sunday or something?
I think this will definitely be up by tomorrow. And it's amazing that within a week we got the Jim Cornette Speed Freak week. Where you were like Lou Reed in the 70s, just fighting with everyone and on
everybody. Hey, they picked the wrong week to piss me off. I'll tell you that. When I'm cranky anyway, usually, and when I go without sleep and I'm not feeling too good, then look out, Katie, bar the door, as they used to say. And but anyway, and then we're going to try to get the drive-through out this week on time. We could be putting together our final body of work before we both fucking keel over and have words spoken over us. But anyway, we're we're fighting through this to bring you guys the programming. And I'm going to, first I want to address the people that have a monetary stake in this, the Cornette's Collectibles customers. As I mentioned on the drive-through, I was trying to get things in order, got some orders packed up and filled and ready to go. And then I was going to take them yesterday morning, Friday, to the post office. I woke up, it was 28 degrees and 2 inches of snow outside. And I was looking at post office, pneumonia, post office, pneumonia, fuck it. So stuff has started being shipped today and will continue to be shipped the first few days of this week, and we'll be all caught up. If you've ordered since the end of January, just a little patience, and your stuff is mostly packed up, and some of it's on the way, and the rest of it soon will be. And then hopefully we'll be caught up so that either that or maybe posthumous order. I'm going to sign a bunch of stuff in advance just in case I keel over. And that way some more people will be taken care of. But anyway, so, and I apologize for people who I've not called on the phone or emailed because, well, there you go. Anyway, there's a few things going on in the world of wrestling besides my feuds and fights and fusses. And a lot of people have still been talking about and they had the WWE earnings call, the WWE stock and the network and the OTT services. And now Vince has made the announcement. Are they, nobody knows what to think. Are they taking the pay-per-views off of the network? Are they going to Amazon? Are they going to Peacock? Are they going to whatever the fuck they're going to? You've seen this, have you not, Mr. Last?
I have. Peacock?
Peacock is going to be the new streaming service from NBC Universal, which makes sense.
Yeah, I guess so.
And that is the one that the fine folks at PW Insider, who have a grip on these things and actually understand how the internet works, think is the best bet that Vince is talking about. But obviously, the stock is like at 50% of what it was, a couple months ago or whenever. And it took a real big hit when Michelle Wilson and George Barrier Reef got shown the door. We talked about that on the drive-through, how they pay these fucking executives $15 million a year and the wrestlers get, bupkis. And there's a lot more. I'm not saying that it doesn't take talent and smarts and et cetera to be a great business executive. I'm just saying there's a lot more of them in the world than there is great wrestlers. But the business executives in that company, because it's all the same, the people running the fucking show are business people, and they think the business people are more valuable. So they pay them millions of dollars in benefits and insurance and everything. And the wrestlers, just because that's exactly what we're selling in our entire product, they don't get a lot of money because what the fuck? They are wrestlers. So that's where we're at. And that's where anybody that wants to work for the WWE or any other major corporation, that's what they need to know. That's how diluted their thinking is. It's, so anyway, Wall Street did not appreciate the two top, to their mind, the two main event people in the company getting fucking booted by Vince. But now that they've made the statement about, well, are they going to fiddle with the network? Are they going to go to over-the-top streaming services? What are they going to do? I'm reading, knowing Vince a little bit, I'm reading his mind, and I'm seeing where this has gone. Because probably Wilson and Barrios were like, hey, we've got a long-term plan. We've planned this out. We've strategically done this and that. We think, this is the way forward. And instead, Vince woke up one morning and said, we can get $500 million from one of these fuckers for our streaming, so we'll do that. And they're like, Vince, and he's like, well, you don't want to do it, pal? See you later. Need to get with the program. And he just makes decisions like that. And now it's starting to show that you could make decisions like that when you ran the whole fucking thing and had to answer to nobody and et cetera. But now after the stock scam, publicly traded wrestling companies, fuck. But after all this, normal outside people are looking, going, well, what the fuck are they doing? They can't just change direction on a dime. That's why the stock price went down. So Vince wants to play in this world. He can't do that shit anymore, which is why wrestling not only should never be national for one thing, but wrestling should never be publicly traded, because then you can't offend anybody, for fuck's sake. And then where are you at? But the tiered network and all this stuff they've been planning, I can see where, can't you, if they had had this long-term strategic plan for all this, that, and the other thing and thought it was valid, and Vince just says, no, let's do something different one day, you can see where there might be some conflict.
Yeah.
Although, to me, the tiered network, I guess they would add extra services if you paid a little bit more. They're basically not addressing the real problem, which is everybody's problem. They're trying to get more money out of the people that exist instead of trying to get more people. Just like every other wrestling promotion is doing, because that's what we're down to now. And we're going to go into that more heavily when we talk about all petite wrestling. But it's never been more plain and obvious for the kind of people who like this kind of thing. That's the kind of thing those people like, but there's fewer and fewer of them. And they're trying to get them to spend more and more money per head. And sooner or later, there's going to be, what do they call it, a tipping point? Or just a, you know, what the fuck? Do you think we're all Nelson fucking Rockefeller around here? We got millions of dollars to spend on this shit. No, you need multiple millions of people instead of people with multiple millions of dollars. Because the multiple millions of people, there's more of them than there is the people with the multiple millions of dollars. But I don't know how that a tiered network is going to solve anything when what else can they give people that they've already given them the entire library that's up for grabs that they've digitized and got ready on the network. They've already given them all the pay-per-views. They've already given them all these specials, $9.95 a month. They think just because they give them a few independent groups from fucking England that are willing to work with them and that they don't view as a threat so that they'll put them on the network, that's going to be worth an extra however much per month. I don't think there's enough people that, you know, that's going to make a big difference. And, you know, that's what, you know, the NWA TV show. Did I ever tell this story? I don't think I did, because last time I thought of it, I was still in good graces with Liver Lip Lagana. But the NWA show was what they were thinking was going to end up on the network.
Who was thinking?
Dave Lagana was there. I wasn't thinking it. No, here, going back all the way, the anniversary show they did in Nashville, the NWA, in October of 2018 at the Nashville Fairgrounds. Both Jeff Jarrett and Lagana had called me about that. Jeff, because he was doing the live promotion for the live event in Nashville right there. And he was handling that. And they got the biggest crowd, or biggest gate at least they'd ever had in that building for it. And Lagana obviously was handling the show for the NWA. And well, he and Billy Corgan are the NWA, so he was handling the show. And so they both called me. And that's how I got started doing the commentary. And we made a deal at that time. I'll go ahead, since I don't give a fuck anymore, I'll go ahead and tell everybody what my business was. I said, okay, it's Nashville. It's 180 miles down the road. Work at the fairgrounds again. He was bringing in some of the legends. We're going to have a VIP meet and greet. You know, I had NWA memorabilia and stuff where they could do the history packages on both Nashville and the NWA in general. So I made a deal with Lagana and Jeff that Lagana could come up and shoot some promos with me to promote the event, and he could shoot some of my memorabilia for B-roll and background, and that I'd come down and do the VIP meet and greet thing with the other legends that they had, and also do the commentary. And because it was something that, okay, I like the NWA. I like Nashville. It's not that far. I'll do all that stuff. Give me $2,500. I said, I'll even get my own hotel. I'll use points and get a place right in North Nashville instead of where they were staying, because it's easier for me on the way back home, right? And so that's what we did. And, of course, we talked about the show when it happened. It was an okay show live. The production was chaos. And it was a horrible experience, not only trying to watch it, but trying to call it, because the audio guy called in sick that morning, and the audio was shite through the whole thing. And, you know, the underneath matches were rushed, but the people had a good time. And the main event, which was Aldous and Cody, was fucking fabulous. But, you know, so I did that and didn't think anything more of it, except, you know, they announced that night we're going to bring the Crockett Cup back. So I told Lagana had asked me, he said, well, you know, we're going to do the Crockett Cup. I said, well, when you figure it out, let me know. So then earlier in the year of 2019, he calls me, okay, the Crockett Cup's going to be in Charlotte. And this time we're partnering with Ring of Honor. We're going to use their equipment. And I was told, obviously, that Ring of Honor didn't have the same equipment that it did when I was there. They actually finally got good shit, right? I said, okay. And then now Charlotte's farther than Nashville, but he's going to bring the Midnight Express, do the Legends thing, and the Rock and Roll Express is working with the Briscoes. And it's still the NWA Crockett Cup, and I have all the history. I said, all right, come up and shoot some promos, get some B-roll stuff on Crockett Cup history. I'll come to Charlotte, the same thing, $2,500, just get my hotel this time, because I'm going to have to be down there for a couple of days, because it's not just a 3-hour down and back like Nashville. And I realize for some people say, okay, $2,500, that ain't bad. $2,500 is the less money than I have left my house for anybody for quite a while now, just so you know. And yes, I am aware that did make me the highest paid talent on the NWA roster, except for Nick Aldis. But they're asking me, I'm not asking them. I'm doing them a favor by doing all these things for that because I was interested. So for the Crockett Cup, I go down, I do not only the VIP meet and greet with the Midnight Express and all the other legends, but a Q&A with Billy Corgan. I do the promos to promote the thing that they shot here, give them the B-roll, announce the fucking show, and produce, I think, 2 of the matches, including the Briscoes and the Rock and Roll Express, to make sure that, that was as good as we all wanted it to be, and work the production meeting with them. Because here's the thing about production meetings also. Production meetings are usually the person in charge of creative or the person in charge of production or whatever. Some nominated person reads through the format for all the crew. I'm talking about the production crew and the people in the truck and the camera people and the various everybody, not the wrestlers, but the production crew. And during that read through, everybody asks the questions that they need to ask for what they need to know. Well, when you get Jim Cornette on a television production, a part of the thing is you get him in the production meeting. And that's why they liked it in MLW, and that's why they liked it in the NWA, and et cetera, because since I've been in 10,000 of them and I've run a lot of them, I know the questions to ask. And I've been there in the same place. When you've written this and you've gone over this in your mind a million times, you know exactly what it's supposed to look like, and you're reading it to other people that they're hearing for the first time, then you may not be as detailed or as explanatory as they may need to know exactly what the fuck. And sometimes these people don't want to just pop up the audio, A2, the second audio guy doesn't want to just pop up and interrupt things to make sure he knows what's going on. So I interject by asking the questions that I believe that different departments might need clarification on if I think that they weren't clarified. Does that make sense? So I kind of help facilitate the production meeting. Anyway, did all that for the Crockett Cup, plus the goddamn drive down there was fucking insane because you can't hardly get to fucking Charlotte anymore with the traffic and the construction. But I do all that as $2,500 in a hotel. And then he started talking about, well, we're going to do a TV show. I said, what do you mean, Dave? He said, well, we're going to start doing TV. I said, well, what would it be on? Well, we're not sure yet, but we think it might be on the WWE Network. I said, what? And he did have meetings, unless he was just bald-faced lying to me. He had meetings to talk to them about. I said, do you honestly believe that the WWF is going to put an NWA television show on their network? Well, they might. Well, we're talking about it. Whatever. I said, okay. So let me know, Dave, if something comes up, right? And once I caught him, he started talking to me like he talks to everybody else. When he wants to get him on his side, he's like, well, there could be quite a few or quite a number of dates for you out of this. Like, trying to get me involved. I'm like, whoa, slow down, cowboy. You're scaring me off. A pay-per-view once in a while is one thing, but fucking, I'm not going to do a weekly TV. And I wasn't going to goddamn tell him everything I wasn't going to do because I didn't actually believe that this was going to happen, that they were going to have a TV show on the WWE Network at least. But I said, slow down, cowboy. A lot of dates would scare me off. I'd be glad to help you intermittently, but let's see what, where, when, and how often this is going to be, right? So a couple of times, not like weekly, but a few times during the course of the year, he's calling and telling me, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And finally, he called, he said, well, we're going to do it on YouTube. Okay. But he said, that's when he told me it was going to be a studio show. and that it was going to be done in Atlanta, and that they were going to shoot 6 or 8 weeks at a time. And that's how I got involved in that, because it's okay. Once every 6 or 8 weeks, I could go to Atlanta for a couple days. And, you know, it's the NWA studio. And I believe I mentioned to you when we first started plugging that it was going to happen. I said, I've got to go see a studio wrestling show done again, whether it's great or shits or anything in between. I want to see what's going to fucking happen, right? So that's when we finally went down there and did the fucking 2 days of taping in Atlanta. And I told him, I didn't even negotiate with him, because I said the same thing. I know they don't have a unlimited resources. And if I hadn't been interested in doing the thing to begin with, then the money wouldn't have made any difference. I wouldn't have done it at all. So I said, just give me the $2,500 twice, Dave, for 2 days and my hotel. Okay. He said, I'll do that. Yes, absolutely. Because I wasn't doing this as a goddamn livelihood. That's another reason why that I was, you know, pissed off with after the chicken joke, when, you know, after all year of, well, we want you involved and you can do it. You can do the first tapings. You don't have to commit to everything, blah, blah, blah. And of course I signed nothing, because I don't sign contracts anymore. But that's why I was pissed off when, as soon as I go and do this. And by the way, that set of tapings in Atlanta was a fucking physically demanding set for me. I drive down one day, I drove down on a Saturday. I go Sunday to check out the fucking studio and to see the lay of the land and to get the formats and see what's going on so that I can prep and be ready for Monday. And then Monday, the production meeting's like 11 o'clock in the morning in downtown Atlanta. And I don't get out till 11 o'clock that night, and I'm having a midnight fucking meal at Waffle House. And the next day, same thing, production meeting, 11 o'clock in the morning. And then a meal at the Waffle House at midnight, and calling 8 hours of wrestling, and coming up with finishes, producing 2 or 3 matches each night, and kibitzing in the fucking production meeting to make sure everybody had their shit straight for the same fucking $2,500 a day. And then everybody, oh, it's great. It's so great. It's so great. Until old Liver Lip gets blowback from Twitter from all the cosplay wrestling fans because I told a joke. And then suddenly it's, well, instead of, as we talked about, well, Jim Cornette told an old joke and we left it in because we knew he didn't mean anything bad by it, but we both apologized. We won't do it again. Instead, it's, oh, Cornette was offensive and I'll never let that happen again. Well, fuck you. That's why I fucking basically answered the phone, fuck you. Well, I answered the phone, Popeye's chicken, when he called the next day. And then I said, basically, fuck you. Because I was minding my own business in my home again. And he browbeat me and fucking cajoled me and fucking, wanted me to do all these things. And I was doing it for less money than I would do anything for anybody else for. And he fucking wants to bury me because he has no balls. And he made a mistake and he couldn't own up to it. So whatever the fuck. But anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, yes. Yeah, so originally the WWE or the NWA show was going to be on the WWE network. And then that didn't work out. And then they put it on YouTube. I don't see anything out there that could possibly be added to the WWE network that would make it more valuable now that they've set the price at $9.95 a month for everything that's ever been put on tape. Do you?
I don't know what they're going to do. I think it was probably a mistake to put all the pay-per-views on there in the beginning because now you got people used to it.
What, you think?
Now you can't pull them off there.
Yeah. WrestleMania, for fuck's sake. Keep everything on there, but WrestleMania, they lost tens of millions just putting WrestleMania on there for fucking free.
Since we're fully disclosing things about the NWA, can I say something?
Go ahead.
I warned you he was an untrustworthy weasel long before the chicken joke.
You did that.
I told you. And I think he's a liability. And I think all you have to do is go Google the stories about why he left the WWE in the first place. And there are more stories that I've heard from other people. I think he is someone who is desperate to paint himself in a good light. That's why he dives into the DMs of anyone who he thinks is a wrestling influencer on Twitter. That's why my DMs
By the way, influencer. You have a lot of these people. That twat that does fucking promos now for Impact, I'm an influencer. Who the fuck are these people influencing?
Well, that's why my DMs are
Influence
closed.
a fucking blind possum to cross the fucking road.
Well, by the way, that's why my DMs are closed, so no one can fucking get to me with this shit.
Can influence you.
He's always trying to paint himself in a positive light to Dave Meltzer, which is apparent anytime you read anything about the NWA in the fucking Observer. And I just think he's a social media manager, and I hate to call Billy Corgan a money mark, but he's a social media manager who found, for lack of a better term, a money mark. I don't think he's very creative.
Well, wait a minute. I will allow you to continue to malign Dave Lagana in 1 second. Billy Corgan isn't a money mark because Billy Corgan hadn't spent a ton of money in the overall scheme of things on this, and he's got a pretty decent plan. And even though he didn't, I can see why he wouldn't tell Dave Lagana, what the fuck are you doing? Because Dave Lagana does all the work. So, you can't, but at the same time, Lagana's the one, and you did say he was a weasel, but I feel, but he's my weasel. He's a weasel trying to talk me into doing things and being nice to me. So what's
He's a weasel and a liability, and moderately creative at best. And I think
I haven't seen that.
And I think that the idea of a modern studio show is a really good idea if done right. And there are elements that they've done right, and there are elements they have completely blown because Dave Lagana will never get the plot. And again, I said all these things to you long before. I didn't say them on the air because I never say anything about people you do business with while you're doing business with them. But I said all this.
Well, you don't have to worry about that coming up. We'll talk about it later on in the program. Yeah, I'm about fucking fed up with everybody. But anyway, we didn't mean to go off on this being an entire anti-Lagana thing. We'll do that show in another time. But yeah, as far as the WWE network goes, I don't see what they can put on now that drastically increases the value besides a bunch of independent shows, like I said, that from England or wherever that. Yes, some people want to see those, but not in great numbers. It's not like they're adding, we've just found 20 new WrestleManias. And that's, so now they're stuck. So now Vince wants to fucking just blow the whole thing up. I've said Vince is like Donald Trump, except he knows, more words. He's smarter, smoother, and has better manners. But he still wants to blow everything up on a whim just because he, gets an idea. So I don't see where they're going to, the stock price will be interesting for a while is all I've got to say. Is all I got to say about that.
And a lot of calls on that conference call, the earnings call, wondering about the XFL. How does this affect everything? And Vince kept saying, it doesn't affect anything. It doesn't. It's a different staff, different.
That's another. He's got such a fucking grudge. This thing didn't fly. Who gives a fuck about fucking football? And he's 75 years old and he's a billionaire and he's going to work himself to death trying to fucking do the, redo something that that didn't work. I don't know.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? I interrupted you.
I don't know. I think I may have said. Plenty.
Well, who knows? Well, if you didn't say it, you can say it later. I'll tell you, here's the thing. You cannot fix stupid, but you can help people with problems. How's that for a transition?
That was beautiful.
I got an email here from somebody. Where is it? Oh, God. Jeff, and I won't use the last name, but we advertised just this past week on the drive-thru, and I remember vague parts of the drive-thru. I was feverish. I remember vague parts of it, but I remember that we've advertised a new service but called BetterHelp. And Jeff wrote me the day that the thing came out and said, I don't have a question, just a comment. My wife and I lost our son this past August, so needless to say, we both have hit the lowest point in our lives. We have been using BetterHelp to get us through this. You have no idea how many people you and Brian are going to help just by advertising them on your show. Thank you. And that's what, and in the interest of full disclosure, once again, when I first heard about this, I told you, Brian, I was like, well, would this be a help to somebody? We don't want to be telling people, something that it's not good or it's not right or whatever. And you researched it and you did a conference call with the folks and we got the information. And now we actually have a listener backup to it. That is something that people might be able to take advantage of and people might be able to use. And we've read letters from the listeners, whether they've been in service or whether they've had health problems or just problems in their lives. And they need somebody to talk to. And even some of the Cult of Cornette members who Kenny Omega says are classless and mouth breathers. We'll talk about that later on. But some of the other cult members have sent, like the serviceman who lost his brother to suicide. And we had another member of the cult send some gift cards to him and say, hey, if you want to talk old wrestling with me like you did with your brother, you know, then I'm here for you and all that stuff. But this, while that's admirable, it's not exactly a professional way of going about things. Well, now the people at BetterHelp, it's HELP, BetterHelp, can actually provide you with these services. It's a counseling service that it's available for people worldwide. If you live out in the sticks somewhere and you don't have access to counseling or anybody to talk to, or the only people you have access to are people that live in your small town, you don't particularly want to tell them all your goddamn problems because you know them. It's not a crisis line. If you're suicidal, there's places for that you can call. It's not self-help. It's people that will help you. It's professional counseling done online and securely. And they have a counselor network with people that might not locally be available even in a lot of places. And you get an account that you can log on to anytime, send a message to your counselor. You can get responses. It's not like most doctors in America that, you know, you call, yeah, we'll give you an appointment in a couple of weeks or nobody will call you back. So anyway, it's something new that now people can use to go to if they need somebody to talk to and just some type of what's the word I'm searching for? 'Cause I'm feverish. Not somebody, you can't go and talk to your fucking cousin about this or your sister or your wife or whatever, but it's so personal or they got a dog in the hunt. They can't be unbiased is what I'm saying. Anyway, more affordable and traditional offline counseling. They can do a lot of stuff. Anyway, it's betterhelp.com. And if you go to BetterHelp, HELP.com/JCE, then you can get 10% off your first month on your counseling account. And you can also go to their website and read the testimonials and read the type of things that they do. You have a lot of the information on the different things they do, Brian. And, you know, it's something that apparently people are already that listen to the program are already taking advantage of, and they think that it can help more of you.
Yeah, you know, it's weird. We hadn't talked about this before we recorded, or we are recording, but I actually heard from two different listeners, one via email, one on Twitter. Same thing. I've been using BetterHelp, and I just want to thank you for doing this for the Cult of Cornette, which I thought was really interesting. Usually you don't hear from people that say, I use this sponsor, and I'm very happy that you are now talking about them. So obviously it's had a positive effect on people. And like you said, I think one of the big things is it's not just for people who can't access a specific type of counseling. It's also for people that may want to get counseling and are a little scared off by the price. It's more affordable than the counseling that you may find in, you know, your hometown. So it's
well, yeah, because it's not just medical health care that's fucked up in America. The only people that can afford to get mental counseling are probably the people that don't need it because they're fucking rich and wealthy and could give no shits. But anyway, like we said, betterhelp.com. And if you go to betterhelp.com/JCE, you can get 10% off. And let us know if we should, you know, continue spreading this word and continue doing this because it's helping everybody. But we appreciate the feedback that we have had. I've gotten a lot of feedback this week. And, you know, people say sometimes that Jim Cornette is my spirit animal because when I get here rant and rave about shit that pisses them off too, then they feel better. But obviously that's not counseling them on some of their personal problems, but at least it's making them feel better. But I'm not going to go because I need to feel better. And this will just make me just even more mad. I'm not going to go full bore on the fucking whole impeachment sham business this week. But I want to recognize for once something positive in the Republican Party. I even want to compare myself for once to a Republican. There is some hope, some little glimmer, sliver of hope that some Republicans somewhere can be human beings. Because one of them was in this whole impeachment fiasco. We knew what was going to happen from the start. Bitch McConnell, my turtle, here in Kentucky, told everybody what was going to happen. He came out and basically told everybody, we know what he did. He didn't do anything. We know what he did, and we're not going to convict him. The fix was in, no witnesses. We don't want anybody to tell anybody what he did. But once they voted to become, instead of enablers, accomplices, and they voted to acquit the criminal, one guy, one man, Mitt Romney, of all people, and as bad as I talk about religious people, and the Mormons are the biggest crackpots of the bunch of them, at least in this country, one guy had some kind of courage and some kind of morals and just said no. Mitt Romney actually came out and said, basically, this is what he said in not necessarily these words, but this is what he was saying. I've known what he is, and the rest of you have too, since we first started dealing with him. You know he did it. You know he's done everything else. You know he shouldn't be here. You know this whole thing is bullshit, and I'm not going to go down in the history books this way. My kids have to think about me after I'm gone. People are going to read my name and say that I went along with this bullshit. Fuck you. He told every single one of them, the ones that are on his side, we know what he is, and just because you won't admit it, because you guys are scared that you'll either get voted out by the rednecks or you'll fucking lose your goddamn NRA payoffs or your special interest money from all the giant corporations that he's given a free ride to. And he's rich enough, he doesn't give a shit. He ain't gonna get voted out for a while, and he probably won't get voted out then because he's in Utah. And he's got enough money where he doesn't have to fucking suck up to these fucking people and lie like the rest of them. And also he's got a little integrity. He's the only one that has any integrity. So he basically said, I'm not going down on the wrong side of history. Fuck you. You know as well as I do what he fucking did and what he is, and I'm going to say it. And so I would like to congratulate Mitt Romney. I've congratulated who says you can't reach across the aisle, Brian? If I could reach across the aisle right now and give Mitt Romney a big old hug and a kiss on the cheek, I'd do it. Because he proves that they can tell the truth if they want to. They just never do. They can be human if they want to. They just never are. And they do have some principles. They just never show them. And I equate myself with Mitt Romney now, because in a sea of people in the wrestling industry who are just turning a blind eye to shit, who are just either they need a job bad, or they don't give a fuck about the business, or they have such an ego they've got to be on TV or figured in some kind of way that they can't stand up and say, no, fuck you. I'm not going to be on a card with the Invisible Man. I'm not going to have a guy throw me with his dick. I'm not going to do a square dance routine in the ring with a fucking small child. I am the Mitt Romney of wrestling, the only one with any integrity that will actually come out and say, no, it's stupid. You know it's stupid. You're looking at it and you see it's stupid, and you won't say it's stupid because people will say that you're old and out of touch because they're stupid too. So I'm wondering, should the ticket in 2020 be Cornette and Romney, because Democrats, Republicans, whatever the fuck, were the only ones that will just stand up and say, no, just because the majority of the fucking public is a goddamn idiot, I'm not going to go for this? You think me and Mitt could work together, Brian?
No. No.
God damn it.
I think you guys have
fucking great.
Vast differences.
Oh, fuck.
Remember, one of the things Mitt said is that, you know, and I actually admire this. If you're a religious person, there are so many people that say they're religious and then do things that really don't show that they are an actual religious person. Mitt Romney said, I swore an oath to God here. Yeah. I'm not going to betray that. Basically saying you guys can do what you want, but I believe in God, and I'm not playing this game.
But him and me still couldn't work together.
I don't know. And by the way,
two peas from the same pod.
And the ticket would be Cornette Romney, not Romney Cornette.
Well, you can't go crazy now.
I think you'd be more equipped for the vice president job than. I think you'd lose your mind as the president, quite frankly.
I bet a lot of people would lose theirs first. But this brings me to a point, and I know this is going to make a lot of fucking people happy out there, not the regular listeners, but the people who secretly listen because they want to be smartened up, even though they can't admit it to their friends that they know that I know what I'm talking about. But I said Mitt Romney had principles, and so do I. I choose not to participate in fucking lunacy. So my live events this year are few and far between, and I've made a decision about one of them. March 14th in Circleville, Ohio for Bobby Fulton and World Classic Professional Big Time Wrestling. It's Fan Fest and event that night. That will be the only wrestling event that I'm involved in this year. And I encourage everybody to come out and see us in Circleville, Ohio. The Midnight Express is going to be there. The Horsemen, a bunch of people are going to be there at the Fan Fest. That will be my second to last wrestling event in my career. Because this year, if I work one wrestling show, then I get my fifth decade. You know how I am about numbers and about milestones and about, even numbers and things like that. So I get my fifth decade by working on that wrestling event for Bobby in Circleville. And then, of course, by the way, I will be at LexCon in Lexington, March 26th through 29th, along with 40,000 other crazy people that are going to be there for the biggest comic and toy convention in the state of Kentucky every year at Rupp Arena, Lexington Center. I encourage everybody to come out there and see me from West Virginia, Ohio, Eastern Kentucky, and however far you travel. We have people from Chicago, everywhere coming down. But anyway, after Circleville, Ohio, on March 14th, I'm going to do one more wrestling event in the year 2022, because that way I get my 40 years, 1982, 2022. So I've got my fifth decade. I've got my 40 years. Apart from that, you will not be seeing Jim Cornette at any events where professional wrestling or alleged professional wrestling is going on. And this year, as I said, I'm not doing any live events because we're still working on a variety of things, including Stace's property in Oklahoma and all the various things. So I'm not traveling this year, but then I will intermittently be doing Comic Cons and Legends Fan Fest, where I get to see people who actually fucking respected the business somewhat and drew money just to get out of the house, but no more wrestling for JC. I'm sick and tired, to be honest. I'm sick and tired of having to vet, as they say, any booking offer. Anytime somebody calls me up, I have to ask them, well, is the Invisible Man going to be on the card? Is anybody going to be doing like any of the square dancing routines? Is everybody over 18? Are there small children wrestling? Whatever. Like I mean, with the MLW thing, when Court Bauer called me, even though I've known Court for quite a while, I had to say, is the Invisible Man on the card? No, we're playing everything straight. Okay, I didn't think to ask because I hadn't seen MLW at that time, and I didn't know what the fuck a Jimmy Havoc was. I didn't think to ask, are you going to have a guy on your shows that takes a staple gun in the ring and staples guys' tongues to boards? So that was a bit embarrassing when I got there and had to sit and look at that and have my voice on it. But I'm just tired of having to approve the places that I go that concerns professional wrestling anymore, so that I'm not embarrassed by what I see in front of me and like I'm lending my credibility to it. Now, a lot of modern wrestling fans may be happy. Yeah, that old Cornette, good riddance to him. He won't be around wrestling anymore. Well, Vince McMahon used to have a saying, motherfuckers. Better to have a guy inside the castle pissing out than outside pissing in. Just because I'm not going to be doing any wrestling shows because I'm too embarrassed to by the current fucking state of the product does not mean that I'm not going to be telling everybody what stupid fucking wrestling looks like on a regular basis. But anyway, so if you want to see me where a wrestling ring is set up, come to Circleville on March 14th, or you'll have to wait 2 years till I get my 40th anniversary done. I'm doing my math right on that, ain't I?
I think so. Hey, I got to bring this up here. Because one of the promoters you never had to worry about, even when he had some silly stuff, you knew you'd at least have a good time, was Dennis Carluzzo.
Yes.
I have to say, one of my favorite things just recently, in like the last week, I guess Donnie B is doing a show somewhere here in Jersey. And he has somehow convinced Mark Carluzzo to be involved, bringing back the Carluzzo Collection Agency.
Oh.
And it's Mark Carluzzo with Rick Ratchet. And they're playing these heel characters. I shouldn't say they're playing heel characters, but
they're not playing.
And it's so fantastic. They've been doing these great promos. There was one with them in a limousine. He had this one line that killed me where I guess Mark had a list of places he has foreclosed on, and Donnie's reading them off, and one of them was the home for wayward children. He goes, how could you foreclose on them? And Mark goes, what, they're wayward. They'll find another way.
Oh, my God.
But it's really good stuff. I wish I had more information in front of me about to plug it or anything, but Mark Carluzzo and Rick Ratchet, I hope sincerely they do more stuff together. It is so funny, and I'm really enjoyed it. And they're good heels. They're actually really good in their roles. So I just want to say that right here.
That brings something else. Even Dennis Coraluzzo never booked The Invisible Man.
No.
Heavens. One time at one of the Eddie Gilbert tribute events, it was at a hotel in Philly at the airport. So they had given Dennis, because he rented the whole place, they'd given him a big suite with a boardroom for him to stay in. And he's, James, come on up, let's have a booking meeting. So I knock on what I think is a hotel room door, and I open it. It's this giant suite with a bedroom and this big bathroom and a kitchen area and then this big boardroom. And there's Dennis at the end of the fucking conference table with a big cigar and his feet up on the fucking thing. And there's goddamn champagne on the fucking tray on the table. And there's this fruit plate and everything. He said, James, I wonder what the poor people are doing these days. And that's just some fuck.
That was the night we had the water balloon fight in the hotel.
That is correct. You are correct, sir.
Because there was also a gymnastics competition nearby. So like at 2 a.m, we're all running around throwing water balloons until security put a stop to that. And there are just girls doing flips in the hallway. Like we're running around them. And someone threw a water balloon from one of the top floors. And it was, you could overlook the lobby from whatever floor you were on. It was just an open area.
Yes, the atrium.
You could overlook the atrium. Someone threw a water balloon and it went like 8. It wasn't 8 stories. It was probably like, let's say 4 stories down. And it hit the grand piano right next to where Sid was sitting. And that was a memory that'll always stay with me. That was the night we got to the hotel and we get there and we asked the bellhop, we say, because it was me, Dennis, Mark, and Don Leibel got there before anyone because Dennis was the promoter. So we got there early and he had the suite, so he was going to live it up. And we said, is anyone else here from the wrestling yet? And the bellhop goes, yeah, the champ is here. This is before John Cena had that saying. We said, the champ? Right. Who's that? He goes, the guy who beat Hogan. And we're like, who the hell is he talking about? He goes, the wrestling dentist. And then we realized who it was. Leno had gotten there before us.
Oh, no.
And he told the bellhop that he was the guy who beat Hogan, the wrestling champion, the wrestling dentist, Dr. Mike Leno.
Yeah, the only difference between that and the old days of wrestling is that the girls turning flips in the hallways were not just there to see the wrestlers. They were actually staying there because they were a gymnastics team. But otherwise, everything was the same. Anyway.
Now they're doing the flips in the ring.
Well, to change topics for a second, folks, we have been miserable. We have been sicker than ever before, but one thing we have not been is sore. We have not had pains, Brian and I. You know why? Because we're still on the Omax. We're using the Omax Cryofreeze. We've been screaming about this stuff. It's insanely popular. We've been talking about it on the show. Instant relief of joint pain. The roll-on, the sport cream. We've talked about not only does it work on all my aches and pains from all those years in wrestling, my mother-in-law who's had a hip replacement and a knee replacement said it's the only thing that she's found that worked. They've got a variety of products, and now we're going to give you an exclusive on the launch of the brand new Cryofreeze CBD Advanced Joint Defense. This stuff is going to just blow your fucking mind. It's a 1-a-day supplement with a clinically proven ingredient called NEM that relieves joint discomfort and soreness in 7 days or less. 7 days or less. 7 days or less. It's got hemp-derived CBD in it. It's a breakthrough formula, and it reduces aches and pains from sore muscles, joint overuse, aging. We're all going through that. I think anybody listening right now is going through aging, no matter how old you are. So it has no THC. For those of you who that's a good thing, that's a good thing. For those of you that's a bad thing, you can get that elsewhere. But it is tested. It's 100% premium quality, and we're going to get you a deal just like we have on the other stuff. For a limited time only, 20% off the introductory pricing on Omax Cryofreeze supplements plus free shipping. And this applies also toward any product site-wide through the end of the month, which is February. It's a short month, so hurry. But you can go to omaxhealth.com, O-M-A-X Health, Health.com, and enter code JCE to take advantage. 20% off site-wide and free shipping. And basically, this stuff will fix you up one way or another, either the creams or the roll-on for the instant relief, or you can take these capsules now and it will help within 7 days make you feel a little better. If you're looking to relieve your muscle and joint discomfort, looking for a natural, powerful solution that's tested and works, Cryofreeze Advanced Joint Defense. So go, omaxhealth.com, JCE, 20% off. Don't let muscle soreness continue to be an excuse for not living an active lifestyle. Or even like me, if you don't want to live an active lifestyle, if you have worked your entire life and saved a lot of money so you don't have to live an active lifestyle, just don't fucking hurt. Just do not fucking hurt while you're laying around the house enjoying all the shit you've worked for. omaxhealth.com, feel relief faster. That's all I've got to say about that. Oh, what else are we doing here? We got an update on Uncle Dave. And everybody, he hit me at the wrong time last week. If you if you listened to the drive-through, you'll know that. But he used the phrase genius to describe Kenny Olivier. And I'd had all I could stand. I couldn't stand no more. I had my Popeye moment. I fired back at him. I said, what the fuck? And I'll tell you why I'm so upset about this in a few minutes. The basic reason I'm so upset about this. But then after the drive-through was done, he kept going. And he can't leave it alone because he's going to come up with his goddamn business trends and his, well, we do it every week and it's just so sad. It's just so sad that people can't keep up and they get out of touch. Here is the real fucking problem, folks. The real fucking problem. A lot of people are saying, Jim, you've known Dave for 35 years. You guys have been friends and you go off on him over one tweet. No, it was, I've had all I can stands. I can't stands no more because it wasn't just that tweet. It was the goddamn little pot shots, little sideways, little fucking elbows he's been giving me for months now that I've tried to ignore. And you and I have talked about this, Brian, is that we want to go full on fucking heel on Dave for his bullshit. And the most I've said, well, you know, weed's legal in California. We tried to play it off. We tried to joke about it. We had him on the show here, a year ago or whatever, where we tried to just get him to say, Dave, just admit that the fucking dick spot is stupid. Just admit the invisible man is stupid. Just admit that these fucking guys are just stupid in some respect. Just admit something. He wouldn't do it. The best we could get, well, the dick thing shouldn't be on TV, but it works in that room. That's a bit, it gets over in that room or in that audience. NAMBLA and their fucking theories and priorities gets over to that audience in that room. And if you don't know what that is, folks, Google it.
Oh, Jesus. Don't Google that.
I'm not saying you should join it. I'm saying what they believe gets over in their room. That is not in any way an endorsement of it. That is an indictment of saying, well, for the kind of people who like that kind of thing, that's the kind of thing those people like, so it must be okay. And that's what he's been doing. But he's been taking the little pot shots and the little elbows in the ribs. He won't do it in the Observer because he knows I read the Observer. But he will do it on his audio. He'll mention my name because he knows I don't listen to my own audio, much less anybody else's, right? So he thinks he can get away with it there. And sometimes he even does mention my name in the Observer every once in a while, lately. But for a while, it's just been the little things about, well, some people, they just don't understand the trends and the times change and they get out of touch and blah, blah, blah. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If suddenly eating cow shit while you're walking down Main Street became the fashionable thing, I'm still not eating no fucking cow shit. That don't mean I'm out of touch. That means I just don't like to eat cow shit because it's fucking stupid. And Dave's been taking these shots at me for a while because I will not roll over like a lot of other people and just say, okay, this is what this is now, so I guess I'm just wrong. No, I'm not. It's stupid. But since he's been taking those shots, and it's been building, and finally he wrote that obituary on me over the chicken joke back in fucking November. And I told him off then privately, and a little bit on the air, but even more so privately. And I was going to leave it alone, but he just can't stop. And when I see things like Olivier and Okada better than Flair and Steamboat, Olivier is a genius at match psychology, it just goes over some people's heads. Like anything that prissy prancing, sissy dancing, finger pointing, fucking doll wrestling, kid abusing, fucking Harpo Marx lookalike could possibly do would go over my head.
Well, let's not say kid abusing.
He's on fucking tape beating up 9-year-old children.
Okay. If that's what you mean, okay.
No, I don't mean he fucking diddles them like a fucking Catholic priest. I mean he's beating them up on tape, and people have no problem with this. Whether it's a work or not. Goddamn shit happens, even when you're a play wrestler like Olivier is. What happens if he potatoes a kid in the fucking their bones aren't even formed yet? Just because some fucking weird Japanese people have some kind of goddamn sexual fetish over these small school children doesn't mean that it's ever going to get over in America, nor should it get over in America, nor should it be brought to America. And I don't know which one that I'm more honestly fucking offended by, the fact that he's doing this with children or that he's doing this to the wrestling business. It's like Jerry Seinfeld, that line one time when his dentist converted from Judaism to Catholicism. And Jerry went and complained to the priest. And the priest says, "Does this offend you as a Jew?" He said, "No, it offends me as a comedian. Now he can tell all the good jokes." I don't know whether I'm more upset that he does it to kids or he does it to the fucking wrestling business, but nevertheless. Dave's been taking, and then Dave said, I swear to God, Dave Meltzer said that Bobby Eaton was the Nick Jackson of his day. He's gone off the deep end and he can't fucking come back from it. And we talked about, is he scared he's going to lose some of his subscribers? Is he scared that the cool kids won't like him because he's old and cranky and he gives a shit because he wants to be liked? Dave has always wanted to be liked. I remember when Dave had a sense of humor. I remember when Dave had sense. But anyway, so we've had some more Twitter interaction, and I'm done with Dave Meltzer. Because Dave Meltzer is embarrassed that I've defended him as knowing what the fuck he was talking about for so long against other people who are also liars, the Bruce Pritchards and Eric Bischoffs of the world. They were lying about Dave for their own purposes. And I would point out that they were lying because they were talking about facts that he's reported. The problem is Dave has started to report his opinions as facts. And all the business trends and everything. McDonald's sells more burgers than anybody else. That doesn't mean they're any fucking good, and most of them aren't. But I would defend Dave Meltzer, and then Dave Meltzer comes back and makes me look like an idiot for defending him by saying obviously just batshit fucking insane shit like that. And you and I went back and forth. What is it? Is it, the cool kids, or is it the fucking subscribers or whatever? We got an email I did from a guy named Chet. If he's a subscriber to the Observer, I won't give his last name. He might get canceled. That may explain the problems that we're having with Uncle Dave. Would you like me to read it, Brian?
Sure.
All right, Chet says, by now much will have been written about the falling out / feud with Dave Meltzer. However, one thing that I've been somewhat surprised that nobody has ever mentioned seems to me like the elephant in the room. Dave Meltzer is clearly on the autism spectrum, and this influences every aspect of his personal psychology. Before anybody gets hot at me, it's a very well-written email, and I figured I'd give Chet the honor or the right to be heard. He says, I do not make this claim lightly or from an inexperienced position. I've enjoyed an unusual number of close relationships with autistic people throughout my entire life, going back to elementary school, have worked with them in a professional therapeutic capacity, and for almost 2 decades have been married to a woman with Asperger's syndrome. Dave has an unusually high degree of specialized knowledge, a niche area of interest, an extremely high tolerance for repetition, a desire to explore things at a level of granular detail alien to most people, and clear difficulties in certain social situations, especially in an environment such as Twitter. In fact, it would probably be more unusual for someone who could be described that way not to be somewhere on the spectrum. If I didn't have extensive experience with autistic people in my own life, I would be both baffled and annoyed by the way Meltzer treats others with his combination of seemingly condescending and yet easily offended responses, which frequently misread and or misportray the author's intent, even when it seems obvious to most people. However, because of said experience with ASD individuals, I know that he probably isn't being this way on purpose, and I feel like I can understand his motives more easily than most. Jim, I sympathize with your frustration over the way Dave acts. I see him quote tweeting the same patronizing sounding responses whenever someone mentions your name. Similarly, I believe there have been times that you went too far and hit Dave back too hard in exchanges. I do that, even though I understand why you would want to do so. I respect and admire him and believe he has contributed to the business in significant ways, but Dave is not a creator of wrestling, and he ultimately has limited emotional investment in it beyond its continued existence, as it appeals to him on a fundamental level that few non-ASD individuals can understand or relate to. Although both you and Dave could be considered obsessive in your appreciation and consumption of professional wrestling, Dave is the sort of person who will never stop liking it, no matter what form it takes, and will find something to satisfy him in almost any product that roughly meets the abstract criteria to be considered part of it. That's why he endlessly repeats the claim that all criticism of modern wrestling is the equivalent of criticism previous generations received, as if there will never be a point where increasingly unrealistic wrestling could alienate enough people to jeopardize the business as a whole. I could be wrong, but I would hazard a guess that a difference in the way he perceives and prioritizes the emotions of other people probably renders him immune to the cringeworthy acting and often illogical aspects of certain modern workers, instead preferring fast-paced matches where lots of stuff happens and there are endless callback spots to previous bouts that only people who watch and recall obsessively will remember, which is the only thing he ever seems to refer to when he says modern wrestling has psychology. In short, the same traits which make Dave an excellent historian and record keeper, as well as a tireless and incredibly consistent but idiosyncratic writer, also make him willing to accept and enjoy things that others would find nonsensical, pointless, and even irritating or offensive, and to interact with people with whom he disagrees in a manner that seems disdainful and superior. With that said, we should not perceive him being this way as something which could be easily changed, and certainly not through superior reasoning or argument. Rather, it is almost certainly a fundamental part of his own atypical psyche and perspective. I have seen many friendships involving an ASD individual be ruined under similar circumstances and feel bad watching what has happened play out. Although it may be difficult, I do believe that we should adjust our expectations and be willing to forgive them for acting in a way which, although it can be confusing, hurtful, frustrating, and many other things, is fundamentally not due to a deliberate choice they have made and which causes as many problems for them as it does for those in their orbit. Apologies for the painfully long and possibly completely inappropriate use of the drive-through address, but having decades of experience with people who are exactly like Dave and having observed his writing and behavior online for some time, seeing your public dispute with him finally crystallized some of those thoughts into this message. Very well written email. And it takes some of the heat off of Dave as not being able to help himself in that manner. But it doesn't take a lot of heat off of him with me because he's still knocking me and telling me I'm out of touch and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing when I'm looking at a shit sandwich and acting like it's being expected to act like it's a juicy cheeseburger. But what else is the explanation? I don't know.
Well, let me just say, well-written email. I'm not comfortable diagnosing Dave Meltzer here on the air.
I didn't ask you to.
Well, no, you didn't. But still, that was the tone of the email. I'll say a few things here. I think this is all rather unfortunate. And I think you're both right and you're both wrong in different ways. I think Dave's behavior on Twitter is... I don't know what the fuck he's doing, to be quite honest. He's condescending. He's patronizing.
Now, wait a minute. I know what people are automatically going to tune out what you're about to say unless I interject. They're saying he's talking about it. Dave's behavior on Twitter. Cornette tells people to go fuck off and die. Dave doesn't actually cuss people and tell them, fuck you, you're a fucking idiot. he just fucking lifts his nose up in the air like, well, you just don't understand because it goes over your head, which to me is even worse, especially when he's telling me shit that's going over my head about the wrestling business. Now, having said that and make plain that we're not talking about being an asshole, but being a condescending prick, go ahead.
It's weird because if you talk to Dave, and you've talked to him a lot more than me, but I've listened to lots of his talking as well, he's not like that. But all of a sudden, I don't know if it's because of the amount of characters you're allowed to have on Twitter, or if it's a business strategy, which some people say, or whatever it is, but there's something about him on Twitter that I really wish he was never on Twitter, because he fights with people that have no followers.
I have never known Dave Meltzer in person or in any phone or personal interaction to ever do anything to be considered as rude. But Twitter's a different animal.
And with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega specifically, although not limited to them, and I've seen it with you, and I've seen it...
About 85%, though.
And I've seen it with you, and I've seen it with other people, and I've seen it with people, again, with no followers. There's something triggered where if you mention them, he has to jump in with a defense. Even if you're saying what you think of their work, he turns it to... I mean, I saw this past week with you, and I'll ask you here, because I'm not sure. We do a lot of recording, so I don't remember every single thing. You've certainly been overly critical of their work in the ring. And you've also praised them at times, but it's mostly you've been very, very critical of their work.
Sooner or later, even a blind squirrel finds a nut. Every once in a while, I'll say something good about them.
But Dave keeps pointing it back to your denying the facts about them being a draw, that it's said that you won't acknowledge that they are a draw. Have you said that they don't draw?
Well, okay, he makes a big deal out of, well, Cornette said they'd be out of business by April or off TNT by April. I've already said, I think, in this program, apparently it's just that the level of success for a television program is so fucking small now that TNT's happy with them. I didn't particularly fucking pay attention because I don't give a shit, but they're doing 60% of the audience that TNA was on Spike when everybody was saying TNA sucked. And they're doing 60% of that audience because everything's down now, I guess. But it's a, as we said, a smaller group of people. And I also said nobody ever went broke underestimating the intelligence of the average American. That's why Donald Trump is president. So some people, for the kind of people who like that kind of shit, that's the kind of thing those people like. But as far as a draw in what a draw is in my mind, having worked with so many of them, and as far as, I mean, and let's face it, he's talking about Omega. The Bucks are more popular with that audience than Omega because even now that audience is starting to realize, well, what the fuck? Omega was this big deal in Japan, but he's a simpering twit here, and he's presented like a fucking milksop because he's in charge of it and he doesn't know what he's doing. So Omega is less over to that audience than the Bucks are, but yet Dave's goddamn Mount Rushmore of wrestling suddenly has Kenny Omega on it for some reason. How and this email to me explains how that you can watch this fucking sissy ballet dancer pointing his fingers at everything and hopping around like he's, somebody on Twitter said, like he's trying to push out a 7-year-old turd making faces. And you can think that's good wrestling somehow because, oh, he went for the same move that he did in a match 7 months ago in Japan, but it was countered this time. What psychology?
But you see, that's but that's one of the things I think that letter got right. I think Dave genuinely likes, I don't think there's any pretense there. I think he genuinely likes that style of wrestling more than anything else. He likes nonstop high spots and tons of near falls and throwbacks to minutia from other matches. I think that is the style of wrestling he likes, but I think sometimes from what I've seen on Twitter and the Nick Jackson, Bobby Eaton thing that you brought up before, I noticed that the other day, is sometimes he says something and he leaves out the words when it's not a statistic that's based on any sort of business analysis. He leaves out the word, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Or the words, in my opinion.
Well, it's this way. Well, can't you see that Bobby Eaton was his era's Nick Jackson? What the fuck? Bobby Eaton could take one fucking right hand, pickle Nick Jackson between the eyes, and it would make him grow all the hair back he's fucking lost. What the fuck? The Midnight Express would have been hard-pressed to get a match out of the Young Bucks that anybody would find believable because of their fucking size and appearance alone. If they did what they were told to do, then they could have a good match with somebody like the Midnight Express. But
But there's an
or
example.
Tully and Arn or the Steiners or any other great tag team. It just.
But I've seen him all of a sudden say things, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have all the tweets in front of me, obviously. Things like, well, the Midnight Express were the spot monkeys of their day.
Yes. Yeah. He wants to get a little smart ass. He got smart ass with me. Like, he ain't been around me long enough to know that wasn't going to fucking work. The Midnight Express never worked with the Invisible Man. The Midnight Express never had competitive matches with children. The Midnight Express didn't do fucking dance routines in the middle of a goddamn match in conjunction with their opponents. The Midnight Express didn't work with sex dolls. The Midnight Express didn't use invisible hand grenades. Nobody did. And this goes to Omega, threw his fucking wig into the goddamn Twitter ring this week and got slapped down. He's a boring douchebag even when he's trying to cut a promo on somebody. Just a boring, personality-less douchebag that likes to sit around and play video games and jack off to Japanese schoolgirls is Kenny Olivier. And he had the nerve to say, well, Cornette's followers are a bunch of mouth breathers with zero class. And he got some shit for that too. But let me tell you something, you piece of shit. I consider what you did even worse than what Eddie Mansfield did. But back in those days, when there were men who had respect, self-respect for themselves and respect for their profession, men involved that wouldn't go along with this bullshit, Eddie Mansfield never worked in the business again except for himself. And if Eddie Mansfield had wandered into any locker room in America during the summer of 1985, chances are at least one guy in there would have broke one of his fucking legs. And I would pay $100,000 to see that today. Because he was a piece of shit that betrayed his fucking brothers and betrayed the business that he was allowed in. And that's exactly what you've done too. Except you've gotten all of your brothers involved in it, Olivier, where they want to fucking betray the business too. Here's the thing. Years ago, people who hated wrestling said that it was play fighting and it was silly and stupid and phony. Now, the fans, in quotation marks, and the wrestlers, in quotation marks, are saying the same thing. They're saying the same things now as the people who hated wrestling used to say, the people that we used to get in fights with, the people that Haku used to bite the nose off of. Now, the goddamn wishy-washy fucking piece of shit wrestling, I can't call them wrestling fans, cosplay wrestling fans, and these goddamn goofs, kids, grade school children that have been allowed in the business. Now it's all inclusive. Oh, thank God it's not like back in the kayfabe days. It's all inclusive and everybody gets to play. No, everybody don't get to play, you motherfucker. Dave Meltzer, Kenny Olivier, and all these stupid fucking pussies that have been allowed in the wrestling business are normalizing to the fans the idea that this is all bullshit and just something to be laughed at. And that is the bone of contention with me and Dave. That's the bone of me in contention with me and Olivier. He should have had his legs broken for the sex doll matches and the kids matches, and he should never have been booked in this country. It's not what?
When did the standard change?
I don't know.
In terms of like, it works for the room, so it's okay. Like the Ultimate Warriors matches in 1989 never got 5 stars. They were.
Yes, it worked for those rooms because it was mass hypnosis by Vince McMahon when he was at the height of his creative powers. Warrior was over. There's never been a worse wrestler in the world, but he was over.
And he sold more merch than any of these guys, in a 1 year period of time. So why did the standard change where that was not good, but a Joey Ryan is okay because it works for that? Because the Ultimate Warrior was never friendly to Dave and told Dave how much that he really enjoyed his work. They have normalized this to the fans, the idea that this is a bullshit, phony Saturday Night Live sketch and something to be laughed at, and I will never go along with it. I will never go along with that. I don't have to. I've got the platform, the verbal skills, and the resources to tell these motherfuckers what I think of them and remind everybody what dipshits they are, and that's my hobby, and I'm going to do it for the rest of my life because I enjoy it. And I'm tired
once again, of having these fucking idiots say, well, he's out of touch because he doesn't like the idea that my girlfriend, who's a wrestler too, took her bloody tampon out and shoved it in somebody else's face in a cheap dive bar and called it pro wrestling. How dare he be so out of touch? Fuck you. I can afford to be out of touch.
But you see, what's out of touch? Like, is the 60-year-old guy who goes to a Fleetwood Mac concert out of touch? Or is the 60-year-old guy who gets a new wardrobe and goes to see the newest Korean boy band out of touch? They probably point to each other and say, you're out of touch, but who's out of touch? Like, what's out of touch? Because you don't accept something that, I don't know. It's just, I think Dave on Twitter, I think Twitter's the worst thing to happen to Dave. I think Dave presents too many of his opinions like they're facts. He condescends anyone who questions any of these things. And it dilutes the actual facts that he presents because he presents his thoughts as being firm facts that can't be questioned. He always needs the last word. I think his whole thing was unfortunate. He has been taking shots at you for a while. I mean, I even remember he had Kenny Omega.
I've been having people email me and say, why is Dave Meltzer knocking you on these audio shows that I don't fucking hear?
Well, he had Kenny Omega on, I remember a long while back I listened to, and the interview was over, and basically he stopped the interview from ending and said, hey, talk about Jim Cornette. It was basically, here's your chance.
Okay, now, here's your opportunity.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, and Olivier's fucking deal is, well, I know Jim has to do this to stay relevant for his followers. He has to say these things so he can make money. Let me tell you something, you motherfucker. I fucking hate your fucking guts. I think of you just like I used to think of those fucking marks that would hit the ring on me in Mid-South Wrestling, and I would brain them with a tennis racket and kick them in the fucking teeth. And I think of you even worse. Even less, you piece of shit, because of what you've done to the business that I've spent so long trying to give a good image to, trying to make people believe in. And you think that I'm making it. See, he knows I'm not making it up. That's the thing. That's what he says in public. But enough people that know me are now working there that they know exactly what the fucking deal is. I apologize to the cosplay wrestling fans, and I apologize to you, Kenny Olivier, that I'm not either in dire financial need that I have to go along with this. I don't have, like I said, such an ego that I've got to be on TV. I just don't give a fuck about my principles or the wrestling business. And sure, go ahead and let these fucking assholes do whatever they want. That I will participate in stupid horse shit for money, or whatever the reason is that people involve themselves in this. I apologize that I don't have to do that. But you know as well as I do, Kenny Olivier, that I really think this. I really feel that. I would like to see somebody with a half a lick of respect for the wrestling business take you in the ring and grab you around the neck and squeeze your britches full and pop your fucking eyes out of your fucking head and send you back to Japan so you could go scrub the goddamn floors at the fucking peep show booths where you probably met Riho.
He can't get into Japan, but
oh, I forgot. They won't let him in Japan. I can't get in Canada. That's where he's from. They'll let anybody in Canada. I can't get, but he can't go to Japan. Maybe you ought to just go fucking home, Kenny.
Honestly, Dave is intelligent, and we're discussing Dave's thoughts and opinions here. Every time I've heard Kenny Omega, he's got his head up his ass, and he's a fucking idiot. I wouldn't worry too much about Kenny Omega's thoughts about anything. He's an idiot.
Well, exactly. I've said before, every time I read something he said, every time I hear something he says, it's not even about wrestling. It's about we couldn't be more opposite people. I would cut my throat if I had to be in the same room with this fucking clown. And he knows that, and that's why he goes out and tries to say, oh, Cornette just says that stuff. No, I'm not making any of this shit up, Kenny. Nobody's that good a worker. Laurence Olivier couldn't act like this, pal. So if him or anybody else thinks I'm so bitter because I'm not included in your little pussy-ass, sissy, all-inclusive pro wrestling, you apparently ain't been paying a lot of fucking attention. So that's the way it is.
And the other thing Dave does that I've noticed lately that I think is a bit disingenuous is when someone does question, and sometimes I got to admit, some people come to him with some ignorant shit on Twitter, and he still answers them, which I don't know why. And he says, and again, it's patronizing and it's condescending with, I want you to learn. I'm just here to teach. I want you to learn. But when someone will bring up something and will go, well, they sold more tickets in, faster period of time than this. Look, the Beatles never sold that in 30 minutes anywhere. You can't.
That's when you used to have to drive down to the fucking box office and pick the tickets up in person.
You can't compare. There are certain things you can compare to the past in wrestling, and there's certain things that aren't comparable because situations and platforms and everything else has changed. And I think that was another thing the letter brought up. There, anything you bring up to him, he says, well, people were making these complaints 20 years ago. People said Flair and Steamboat did too much. People said the Midnight Express were spot monkeys, whatever it is. I think that's where it gets a little bit ridiculous. That's where you're working overtime trying to justify this stuff.
He refuses to address the meat of the matter. It's not about anybody doing too many spots. For fuck's sake, if they want to put themselves in a wheelchair and just have matches where nobody can follow them, then that's fine. It just devalues what everybody else does because they've already done everything and nobody else can get any emotion out of it. But no, the Midnight Express, as I mentioned, never did The Invisible Man. So fuck you. And it's insane to me. And like I said, okay, you want to talk about facts? Here's facts. The All Elite Wrestling audience on TNT on Wednesday nights in the United States of America is about 2.5 times what the Memphis Saturday morning wrestling show from the studios of Channel 5 used to draw as far as ratings. Those are facts, are they not? We have these things written down. Is it a fact?
I think it's a fact, yes.
I know it's a fact, and I can show you the fucking figures. The goddamn wrestling show in Memphis used to outdraw the World Series game, for fuck's sake. And now this is what it is. We have come to this where it's become such a small-time fucking niche product that even, I said last week, I think, on the show, they're not impressing me with what draws they are because I was on a television program on Saturday night, every Saturday night, that used to draw the equivalent audience as Raw and SmackDown and All Elite Wrestling combined. Which means to me, these people ain't fucking draws. The guy that makes all those fucking baskets in the playground basketball game may be hell down in Portland, in the neighborhood of fucking Portland and Louisville. But if you put him next to Wilt Chamberlain, his stats don't look that good. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, what are you doing this week? Are you doing any shows this week, or are you just vomiting a lot?
The vomiting has ceased, and there are shows this week on the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network. Our schedule is so out of whack because of both of our sicknesses. I don't know what's what, so I'll just plug all the shows. This week, listen to Ron Fuller's Studcast, fullerpod.com, or available wherever you find your favorite podcasts. All shows available wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Breaking Kayfabe with Baldwin and Barry, BaldwinPod.com. Stick to Wrestling with John McAdam and Sean Goodwin at McAdamPod.com. The Mid-South Wrestling Television Review with myself and Mike Mills at MidSouthPod.com. The Mid-Atlantic Championship Podcast with Mike Sempervive and Roman Gomez at MidAtlanticPod.com. What am I forgetting? I'm trying to think of... Super Studcast coming up. I'll tell you about it next week. John Arezzi's Pro Wrestling Spotlight then and now. And boy, is this show getting more and more popular each and every week at PWSpod.com, or become a patron and hear all the original episodes at patreon.com/Arezzi. And of course, the 605 Super Podcast, The Mothership, the Pampero Furpo Special. Jesus Christ. Now's when you decide to blow your nose. The Pampero Furpo Special. The audio I was waiting for arrived while I was sick, so we're putting the finishing touches on it right now, but there's going to be some really cool audio from Hawaii in 1968 that no one has heard before, or at least since it originally aired. There's some great stuff on the show. The interview with Pampero Furpo's daughter, Mary, is really, really good. That should be out in the next couple days. And then episode 102 is also almost done, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be one that a lot of people are going to be talking about. 605pod.com. All shows available wherever you find your favorite podcasts. On Twitter, at Superpodcast, and Facebook.com/Arcadian Vanguard. The Mothership.
You know, if you're a real wrestling fan, these shows may be the only things left to listen to or to watch here in the next few years as it descends further and further down the porcelain throne to a Saturday Night Live sketch.
You know, it's weird, and it's one of those things I do think about, actually, as we see the diminishing audience for professional wrestling. I hear from a lot of listeners. A lot of people get in touch with me either via email or they'll tweet at me or they'll send me a message on the Facebook page for the 605. And they'll say, I don't watch wrestling. Either I haven't watched in years or I try to watch and I can't get into it. But I love your shows because I just love being able to relive those memories and talk about the past and learn things. I hate to use that word after what we just talked about, but a lot of people learn things about the past. I mean, I learn a lot of stuff as I do these shows and research these shows. So, I mean, it's not like there's a lack of people who love professional wrestling, but there is a hole where wrestling's not being presented.
Well, here's another.
Well, go ahead.
Here's another fact. This is a fact that is indisputable, and I think has even been reported a couple of years ago by Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer. Pro wrestling is the only sport, if you want to call it a sport, or it's the only entertainment, I think, if you want to call it an entertainment, where more people used to watch it and don't now than watch it now instead of used to. Am I saying that the right way? I'm fevered.
And that's one of the big problems is that the wrestling business is going one direction, whether it's WWE or even AEW, which by and large is an alternate version of WWE style of wrestling, instead of anyone going the other direction. No one has said, let's stop. Let's focus on what has worked. You can't make it retro. But you can apply principles and protocols that work to a contemporary product as long as you have the right.
Wait, here's the thing: you can't make it retro, but some things never change. Are we going to? Because people don't write like they did in Shakespearean England, right? But at the same time, are we just going to change the meaning of the nouns and the adverbs and the adjectives and change that all around because people write differently now? Some things can't change. Basics can't change. Fundamentals can't change of things, because if you do, then you've turned it into something completely fucking different, which is what they've done. And to me, All Elite Wrestling right now is like Ring of Honor was in 2012. They have a small audience that want goofy shit. But to get an audience big enough to make money, you can't do the goofy shit. But when we tried to take away the little bitty fucking 150-pound wrestlers in the baggy pants doing flips and the fucking goofy independent style shit that Ring of Honor did and concentrated on the athletes and the drama and the competition and the hard-hitting nature of the thing, the athleticism, the fans of the goofy shit wanted their goofy shit back, and we weren't able to get new fans, at least very quickly, not only because of Sinclair not wanting to spend money on television, but also because a lot of the people have just given up on any wrestling ever being taken seriously, and they didn't get the word. Well, All Elite's in the same place. They're going to get between 600,000 and 900,000 people or whatever the fuck it is on TNT to watch their goofy play wrestlers and a couple of guys like MJF and Jericho that really know what the fuck they're doing. But the fans wanting the Marco Stunt bullshit is going to keep them from ever doubling that audience, because there's not that many people out there that are going to watch a small child. Maybe they might every once in a while. Hey, look at that fucking goofy kid throwing all those big guys around. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, what's on the other channel? That type of viewer, but not, God, I can't wait for wrestling to come on kind of viewer, which is what wrestling has subsisted on for 100 years. Or at least since the advent of television. You can't do the goofy shit for the audience that exists and get any other audience. So what you have to do is you have to maximize the good things about your talent roster and about what you're able to present, and get away from the goofy shit and try to get more people in that actually, I don't know, want shit to make sense. And that's the way you make a bigger audience, but it's just like Ring of Honor was 8 years ago. Their existing fans want the goofy shit, and it's the goofy shit that keeps them from expanding their fan base. Same thing, in my opinion. I don't know about you.
I mean, we'll talk about it when we get to the review in a minute, but I think with AEW, there were things on this show that I said, if the product had a serious tone where things like this existed over the entire broadcast, I personally believe, as someone who's 40 years old, who wants to really like a wrestling product, that would be something I couldn't wait to support and watch. It's the stuff in between that I don't feel like I need to watch, that I have no problem leaving the room. I have no problem fast forwarding. I have no problem going downstairs to eat. I think that dilutes the serious stuff.
Yeah.
That, like I said, by and large, this great. Everyone.
See, I don't have the same reaction you do to it. When I see the shit, I don't go and eat or go downstairs or whatever. I just turn the shit off, unless I'm being paid to review it like I am here. Because what the fuck? You're trying to get people emotionally invested in a conflict between your two main event stars, but you have just had, in the previous segment, an obvious joke match in front of between a couple of clowns working together, obviously, and making fun of the whole thing. And then you expect them to take the next segment seriously. How the fuck does that work psychologically with anybody normal?
It works with that fan base. Now, is there a larger...
It works for that room. Everybody, you're saying everybody in the building is a card-carrying member of NAMBLA, is what we've established now.
I'm not saying that, and once again, I'm not endorsing the comparison to NAMBLA.
It works in that room for the kind of people who like that kind of thing. That's the kind of thing those people like. That's Dave's fucking...
The question is, if there's people beyond that room, and the room being more than just the people in the arena, the people watching, if there's a bigger audience for that... And that's what we really don't know. And I think that the show being clunky or schizophrenic hurts us finding out. It hurts people investing in it if they go from a serious segment to goofy shit. If they go from something that's clearly a comedy segment backstage, that's something you would see on WWE TV, it's just their version of it, to something that has genuine emotion and makes you care. I don't think that's a smart... I'm someone who's made a lot of money with people paying me to identify how they can improve their business. I wouldn't encourage that. I don't think it's a smart idea, but I'm not in their room, so what do I know? I'm just a wrestling fan.
Well, let me billboard our review then. Let me shock some people. The AEW show kicked the shit out of NXT this week. It was much better. Problem is, if they did, the NXT just flat out rolled over and did the job for him without even trying, practically.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I said this maybe last week or the week before. I don't remember because we've been horribly sick. That I've been having a problem with the NXT show where there are things I like and similar to AEW but different. There's a lot of stuff in the middle that it just goes on too long. I don't like it. I don't need to see it. There are guys who are stars that just aren't on TV for weeks at a time. And NXT, I did not think it was a good episode at all. I thought AEW was much better because the highs on AEW were really high as opposed to NXT where the highs didn't get that high.
And I think a few people on the AEW program were high also.
Probably. I wish I was. Give me some of that medicine you got so I can watch. I'm going to watch AEW on speed next week, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, now at least I know why Donald Trump acts the way he does, snorting Adderall and fucking being addicted to that goddamn English Sudafed and shit, because that shit'll kill you. All right, well, anyway, we've kind of tipped it off that we preferred AEW, and it's not going to be an intensive review because also I'm getting dizzy. But one thing that was good about the show, everybody was over 18. And I was thinking about this the other day. We never, occasionally you would find, obviously you've heard guys that get into business when they were like 15. Said Terry Gordy was 14, but he was also 6'2" and 230. I met Terry Gordy when he was 15 years old. And we were the same age. And he was like fucking 6 inches taller and fucking 80 pounds heavier than me. And Bobby Eaton started when he was 15 or 16, but he was the same size then he is now. But Matt and Jeff Hardy. Jeff was a teenager. The way he got on, I met him. They were doing jobs in North Carolina at a WWF TV because they came with the Italian Stallion, because that's back when Jay Strongbow was booking the job guys, and he didn't give a fuck. He'd find one guy in an area that could bring a carload of guys, and that his work was done, right? Because he didn't give a fuck. And they even I was in on it because they told me, don't say anything. Jeff's 17 or whatever he was then. I liked the kid, so I wasn't going to say anything. But just the idea, nobody on this show is where I was going with this. Nobody on the AEW show that I could tell was underage. Because when you do fucking angles, especially with obvious children and underage children, the only time I can remember that any promotion did an angle physically involving an underage child backfired on them bad. It was ICW, and I think Frankfort, Kentucky, in about 1980. And, George Weingroff was Saul Weingroff's son. And George was a pretty good amateur wrestler. He had impaired sight. He was legally blind. But he wrestled not only at ICW, but he'd wrestled in Mid-South for Watts and a few other places. And then George's younger brother, Eric Weingroff, later on became a referee for a little while and refereed down in Mid-South and different places. But in ICW, the heels, Rip Rogers may be the only person still living that actually was in the locker room, remembers this thing. But I remember they showed a part of it on TV, and we remember hearing about it. The heels were kicking the shit out of George Weingroff, the babyface, and in the ring. And Eric, his little brother, was like selling programs at ringside and shit. And Eric was like 14 or 15, I guess, maybe at the time or whatever. And he wasn't a big kid. And as I recall, some way or another, he came up to ringside and was trying to grab George's leg and pull him to safety. And the heels bailed out of the ring and grabbed him and threw him in the ring. And they were going to explain on TV afterwards when they showed the clip and everything. Well, now you've beaten up my little brother. But the people in the building didn't know that Eric was George Weingroff's little brother. They just thought that the heels had gone crazy and attacked some fan or some kid fucking selling goddamn programs. And they started hitting the ring to defend him, and it caused a riot. And that's something, children. Oh, fuck. Anyway.
Can I ask you a question real quick before we get to the review? The crowd was obviously really small, and there was a lot of area of the arena that was dark. How much of that do you think was AEW? How much of that is Huntsville? What's Huntsville's history as a drawing town?
Not good.
That's what I was curious about.
I don't know why they went there anyway. That was where they had the first TNA pay-per-view, because I think they had some people that could promote it locally there. But the Von Braun Civic Center is a huge building, and Huntsville was an old stop years ago for Nick Goulas and Roy Welch in the 70s. Obviously, that's where Bobby Eaton used to set up the ring there to get in for free. And then, would work out with his friend Orville Hutto, the other half of the Brown Bombers. And the guys were saying, God damn, this guy's as good as we are. What the fuck has happened here? Bobby was just a prodigy. But that was a small building. Huntsville, WCW didn't draw in Huntsville, especially not in that Von Braun Civic Center. Maybe they, back when I was in WCW or the NWA, maybe they might have had a big crowd during the Monday Night Wars when, everybody did, but I don't know about it. But no, it's like Biloxi, Mississippi. The Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum must have seated 15, 16,000 people, and we'd go there every 2 weeks for Bill Watts because it was the only arena really in town. And back when Mid-South Wrestling was having its record year, 3,000 people in Biloxi was considered fabulous, right? Every territory had its town, its building that just didn't fucking fly. And so Huntsville's one of those. So for a variety of reasons, no, there wasn't nobody in the fucking building. And Huntsville's not that big a place. And, of course, the Von Braun Civic Center, named after Kurt and Karl von Bronner, according to some people, actually it was named after Werner von Braun, who was a pioneer in the rocket and aerospace industry, the German scientist. And they have a big rocket factory down there in Huntsville. A lot of rocket scientists in Huntsville. You wouldn't know it from some of the people that fucking brag about being from there. But anyway, this show was better, but it like I said, part of it was just the other side wasn't trying real hard, except for NXT has incredible talent at the top and not a lot of fucking, stuff underneath. And AEW, like you said, is completely schizophrenic, where either it's really good or really bad, one or the other. But the thing, the AEW show this past week, the first match, Jon Moxley and Ortiz with Santana. Besides the fact I don't know why Justin Roberts herniates himself every time he introduces Jon Moxley. And by the way, that's another thing. When Dave wrote his obituary of me, he spent a page and a half about how dare he say these horrible things about Justin Roberts. Justin didn't do anything to deserve that. Remember when I said, hey, that fucking Justin Roberts, goddamn, that big smile and he's all dressed up in that tuxedo. I say offhandedly, he looks like he ought to be registered to be around kids, and went on because I was joking and we're laughing. He did a page and a half of it like he insinuated that this is nobody believed from what we said that we even believed that was the case. But maybe because of what's going on in Dave's fucking head, he took it this way. But besides the fact that I think Ortiz and Santana need some kind of gear, they just look street clothes sloppy. And it's not even like the Gangstas where they're not wearing tights, but they look like they should look. It just, I don't know. But the match was fine. Jericho on color was great. We got a Pampiro Firpo mention in. The match was fine. Moxley sold well. He made a nice comeback. I don't know why he throws like everybody else to business these days, throws those shitty forearms and not punches, because that's just bleh. But I thought that was the best that Ortiz had been, and the match made perfect sense, and Moxley hit one fucking DDT, one of his finishes, and won the match. That was fine. And then, I don't know, car keying him in the fucking eye, an eye for an eye. I don't know, these people are going to regain their sight, so I don't know whether we ought to be punching everybody's eye out on every show, but otherwise than that, there wasn't anything wrong with it, and it got the guy over. And it was against a heel that was an underling of the guy that he's really wanting to fucking fight. So, because Jericho was involved, and he knows what the fuck he's doing. Except when he has, I'm sure, his little play favorites amongst these little kids, and he gives them too much, like when he actually worked with Marco Stunt for a minute a couple weeks ago. But otherwise, Jericho's involved in it. Moxley, I'm sure, knows what he's doing because he's been in the big companies. He knows what gets over and what doesn't. He knows, he's got that garbage wrestling gene in him, the deathmatch thing that he wants to do, which, keeps me from full-blown endorsing him, but there was nothing wrong with this at all.
This was one of those things where when I said that there's a serious element that I really like, this is it. I think Jon Moxley is a fucking star. I think other than the garbage wrestling stuff, which I don't like, and that he seems to be a fan of, like you said, I think he's been presented in a great way. He's a much bigger star now, it seems, than he was in the WWE. At least it feels that way.
Yeah.
I think he's more important to that show than Kenny Omega.
He's a bigger fish in the show, even though the show's a little pond. He's a bigger fish than he was in the WWF. And you are correct about everything you just said.
And I think that this continues that feud. Again, there are things that Jericho's done on the show that I thought were too silly, and I've called him out for that here on the show. But the Jericho-Moxley program so far has been good. By the way, a little correction, because a lot of people did get in touch with us. Apparently, on that cruise, he did wear something over his eye.
Yes.
The entire time, and he deserves a lot of credit.
You stirred me up, because you looked at a picture where it didn't look like he was wearing anything.
Well, it looked like he was wearing sunglasses. But you know what? Give him a lot of credit for that. I think Jon Moxley is a big star there. They're using him in a great way. He comes across great. It was a good way to open the show. I wish there was more serious wrestling presentation like this on that show, but the show was bookended by serious stuff.
Well, and also, even though Moxley is a star, if there was somebody at the top that had the final say, the final foot put down, say, no, you're not going to, because all top guys at one time or another, every single one of them, whether it's Ric Flair or anybody, if left to their own devices without a Cowboy Bill Watts or a Dusty Rhodes or an Eddie Graham or somebody, will do something goofy or go too far. And if there was somebody that had the ultimate foot putting down power that knew what the fuck they were doing, then Moxley would have never had that garbage match with Olivier and just made everything look like shit and buried himself in the process because it was so fucking contrived and phony and stupid and thumbtacks and bumps off of fucking whatever the fuck and all that shit. But when he's doing this, yes, he can get over. But then immediately, the very next segment is our little best friends with their little dog pockets against poor old SCU. And the only thing, when I see the best friends, I can feel so sorry for Trent Beretta because he's got to be a hunchback from carrying this fucking rest of this dead weight around. And, and they had, I'm looking at my notes here. Chuck Taylor is just so outlaw, rotten body, bad hair, poorly fitting tights. He's the invisible hand grenade guy, but he'll do stupid shit anytime he gets a chance. Scorpio Sky is a great athlete. Everybody can see that. And he's a guy with guidance that they could break loose and become a big star. But when did we start the whip into the ropes by palming a guy's head and just fucking saying, go, 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 be free, go, be free and multiply?
Everyone just likes to run. Everyone wants to hit the ropes nonstop, it seems like.
They take it, just palm a guy's head and fling their arm without even taking any steps. Just go into the ropes. This was a match with two babyface teams, allegedly, and face versus face matches need a reason. You can't just book them for no reason, so nobody knows who to cheer for or boo or cheer against or boo or whatever. They all took bumps on the floor, and then Pockets went over and just laid down in the middle of them. And then they went to a break, I believe, after that. That was their break spot. They can only use him on TV for seconds without the entire viewing audience going, what the fuck? Because that's what they're stuck. He's over to that crowd who wants to see silly, stupid shit. But if they try to let him do it more than 15 seconds on television, then they know that people are going to start clicking off because most people, are normal. So they have to just worm him in some kind of spot where he gets to show that he doesn't do anything. That's his whole gimmick, is not doing anything. So, and then, in SCU won with a double team move. It wasn't a horrible fucking match where they just did every fucking thing, but there's two babyface teams two teams that the fans like, having matches, doing moves, and Scorpio Sky was the star of the show. But then, here we go. Here comes the Dork Order with their leader, Pizzeria Uno. And they tackle both teams. And the fans, as soon as they see them, start booing. And not boo like we hate you. Boo like, oh no, not these motherfuckers again. The heels clear the ring. Pockets comes in. They offer him a mask. He dramatically puts his hands in his pockets, and they kick the shit out of him. What the fuck? So why could this guy possibly be popular as a babyface when he is completely ineffective and impotent and does nothing and lets people beat the shit out of him and doesn't even fight back and had the opportunity to fight back before they jumped him and stuck his hands in his pockets? Because it's fake and it's phony and it's bullshit.
Don't question.
That's the only fucking reason.
Just laugh at it. Don't question it.
No. So then here comes Chris Daniels out and runs him off. We went from up here to way down there. And then we go back up again. They have a pre-taped MJF promo that's brilliant. And Taz comments that were very good about what he thought might happen as an announcer and a veteran and etc. And he did very good there. And so we started up, then we went way down, then we went back up, and now here comes Britt Baker and Yuka Sakazaki. So now we're all the way back down again. This Japanese schoolgirl dresses like Barbara Eden in I Dream of Jeannie, which was mentioned by Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone. She's smaller than Riho. Aubrey Edwards looked like fucking Lex Luger next to fucking Yuki Saka, who the fuck? And Britt Baker, their newest heel, has a small Jeannie to beat up. But wait, there's more. Because she don't beat her up. They've just turned Britt Baker heel because she never won any matches as a babyface, and she was basically floundering. So they turn her heel, let her do the worst heel interview in the history of heel interviews on one week's TV, give her another shot to do it the next week. She does a little better then. Now they give her a match, And this fucking 100-pound Japanese genie beats her 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. What? And after a match where the Japanese girl was landing all over Britt Baker to the point where I thought she was going to kill her. Fucking sloppy bullshit from outlaw Japanese promotions that Kenny Omega has some type of fetish. Apparently, you don't have those vending machines in Japan anymore where you can get soiled panties.
What?
They cracked down. They actually had, I read a story on it. They had in some places, because they have this whole fucking sexual fetish about the Japanese schoolgirls and the attire they wear and everything. And they actually had vending machines where you could get soiled panties. But they've cracked down on that, and now that's mostly, you can't find those anymore, although you can still find some other stuff over there, according to the story. But anyway, I thought she was going to kill Britt Baker, and I think at one point on that Thez press off the top to the floor, she either knocked Britt Baker goofy, or when they got back in the ring, Britt Baker just had no fucking clue what that the girl was trying to do to her, because she tried to snapmare Britt Baker over, but she turned like 180 degrees in the middle of the snapmare, and Brett's trying to follow her. And I don't know what the fuck. Fake fucking forearms from this little girl. She's not ready for TV. She's just an Olivier fetish. And then she beats Britt Baker. So then, to get her heat back, Britt Baker puts the girl's mouth on the bottom rope and curb stomps her. And she sells her mouth, and then referee Aubrey comes up, and they don't bother to cut away quick enough. Do you see referee Aubrey slip her the fucking gimmick? And then the girl sells it phonily. Is that a word? Phonily? Phony selling her mouth with the fake blood, and then holds out her tooth, allegedly, in her hand for the floor camera. I've had my teeth knocked out in wrestling matches, legitimately. And the first thing I thought of was not to hold it in my hand and show it to the floor camera. The first thing I thought of was to hold it in my hand to make sure I didn't lose it. I might be able to get it put back in. Say something.
I'll say what I've said all along. AEW did not need a women's division, and they've reinforced that week after week by presenting their women's division to me. I think just because WWE is a women's division and there are other female wrestlers out there, doesn't mean that for a startup wrestling company, you needed to automatically do that. The talent isn't there. This stuff isn't over. It's by and large not good. AEW should just focus on what's working, and they shouldn't have had a women's division. They can't cut bait now, but they shouldn't have had a women's division. They should have just started up.
Wait a minute, are you trying to make some kind of fish joke about the women's division there? Cut bait?
I wasn't, but I mean, it's not good. Their women's division is not good. Even if you're someone who's a fan of Riho, and we hear from people that say like, oh, I really like her matches. Let's say that's the case. Let's say you like those matches. What about every other match? What about every other match with every other woman in this division? They're not as over with the live crowd. They're not good matches. They're sloppy. Their AEW women's division, I've said it's a disaster. At least Brandy Rhodes appears to have moved past the Nightmare Collective. They're not doing that anymore.
Oh, I was going to ask that, because now we see Brandy running down as the concerned babyface wife of Cody Rhodes, instead of the fucking psychopathic leader of whatever. They sure did cut bait on that.
And they should do the same thing with the Dork Order, which has the same sort of heat.
Well, don't you know that the Dork Order, the Super Smash Brothers, were the best tag team in wrestling, and we should have booked them alongside the Briscoe brothers and Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin?
Well, I mean, that's ridiculous. But listen to your audience about both things. It would be my point. But I just think the AEW women's division is not good in any sense of the word. There are some women there with some potential and talent, like Chris Statlander, and I don't think it's good. And I hate these segments on the show. To me, it's a waste of time. You could be doing good promos with someone. You could have a couple good short matches on there to get someone over, but I don't like this stuff at all. And I like women's wrestling, so it's not about that. But I like good women's wrestling.
Well, yeah, more of the good stuff, less of the bad stuff. Speaking of the bad stuff, the Butcher Baker and the Candlestick Maker teamed up with the Lucha Brothers to face Adam Page, Kenny Olivier, and the Young Fucks. And in an 8-man tag. And here we go. This wasn't a minute old. before the Bucks and Olivier and the Lucha Brothers were running and diving and flipping, and all 8 of them in the ring, and you couldn't tell who was taking the move and who was giving the move, and doing the backslap tags. And then they go through the break, and they come back and have more scrambled eggs. Adam Page must have felt like Oliver Douglas on a set of Green Acres in the middle of these 7 other fuckers. Like, has the whole world gone mad, and it's just me now? At one point, they did a deal where Matt Jackson tagged Olivier. Olivier went up to the top rope, but the Lucha brother wandered off and left him up there. So the Buck went after him, and then they went into another spot. And then Olivier came back in because 30 seconds later, he came on in since he'd been tagged 30 seconds beforehand. And the heel shit on the faces was more spectacular than the baby faces stuff to begin with, so they've completely reversed roles. There was awkward heat on Olivier because he doesn't know how to sell realistically. Everybody was tagging in and out. I saw the coldest iceberg tags in this match where the guy's hand should have fell off from frostbite because nobody can do a hot tag and they couldn't get any heat up. Page did his backflip off the top rope to the floor again on all 4 of his catchers and hit it perfectly. And
that was awful. I hated that because that was one of those times you can clearly see everyone gather together. Like, hold on, come on, yeah. Everyone over here. Let's do a chorus line. Let's wait for him to jump on us. I hate that.
But if people are, well, why does he hate that? It's so athletic. I hate it because it's so fucking good that if he didn't do it every week, people would think, wow. But since he does it every single match and never misses it and never hurts himself or anybody else and never wins anything with it, then it looks like it's goddamn easy. That's the point. Don't do these things every single match. Then there was a spot where Page tagged Olivier, and Olivier steps in the ring and tags one of the young bucks immediately before he's made any contact or done anything. Now, I don't expect them to know the rules of wrestling, but another one of the rules of wrestling where if you get tagged in a tag match, you have to make contact with your opponent before you can tag out. Everybody fucking knows that, except these jackoffs. But then, the way they did this, Page tagged Olivier. Olivier stepped in and tagged a buck. Then the buck tagged the other buck. So apparently now they can all be in the ring at the same time. And all the heels just jumped in and they started hitting moves over and over until it was a complete fucking mess. Right in front of the referee, who's totally impotent. And then their storyline was that Page wouldn't tag the Bucks because he didn't want, Olivier's his partner, he didn't want to tag the Bucks, and then the Lucha Brothers hit Page with a double team and pinned him 1, 2, 3. So it was his fault they lost the match because he wouldn't tag the fucking Bucks. They've buried Adam Page. They have buried Adam Page. He cannot prosper being involved with these wimpy baby faces and klutzy heels in this. And of course, somebody on the spectrum like Uncle Dave will go, well, that's telling the story. Well, I don't care about their story after they've had a match like this. I wrote down, so glad this was over. That's my response to that. Not, oh, Page fucked up by not, if they'd have had a match that made sense and then they'd have done the spot where Page wouldn't tag the fucking Bucks and he lost because of it, that might be something. But after that mess, everybody was just glad to get the fuck rid of it.
I don't think they buried Adam Page just because I think the match really doesn't matter so much. It's just move. But they've gotten him over as being this drunk that you can't really count on, that he's kind of out for himself. So he's actually more over now than when he first got there.
Well, but now what's over?
With their fans.
He's got more attention now, but now, instead of being badass, beer-drinking, stone-cold Steve Austin, he's irresponsible, drunk that you can't count on.
Yeah. I think a lot of those
fans... I'm glad we cleared that up.
I think a lot of those fans can relate to that character, maybe.
Well, then in that case, put the fans in the ring. I forgot they are already. But if the guy in the ring is no better than the guy in the fucking seat, why am I paying to see him?
I'll give a positive. The shorter Buck, Matt Buck, is it Matt?
Yes. Well, he's the pie-faced one.
I thought he had good facial expressions with his frustration with Adam Page. He
was probably thinking about just his frustration about ever growing to become an adult.
I don't know, but I thought, again, there's a lot of stuff happening, but at least that in terms of storyline, he did a good job of expressing it facially while everyone else was diving all over the place.
All right, well then explain to me what happened next. When Olivier stays in the ring, Tony Schiavone gets up there, he's going to interview Olivier, and here's your top babyface's chance to cut a real good promo and get over with the people and then be interrupted by a heel. But since that's not in Olivier's fucking capabilities of doing a good promo where he sounds like a fucking guy who you say something, he means it, and he fucking has some bass in his voice, he's a simpering little twit. So instead, they just shut him up before he ever opened his mouth. Tony taps his earpiece. Wait a minute, there's something going on. Explain this to me. They look in the back, and there on the stage, on the entrance stage, is the new girl interviewer with Pac.
Well, not on the stage. I think they were backstage.
I thought they were underneath the screen in the entranceway.
If they were, I'm wrong. I thought they were backstage. That was the
well, they're somewhere, and he's looking at them on the screen. But anyway, explain to me, there's Riho, and Pac is saying to Kenny Olivier, well, I guess you didn't care about Nakazawa because, you know, Nakazawa is Olivier's friend, supposedly, the guy that pours baby oil all over his body. Maybe he's like those guys that used to get into business because they were the fucking supplier of something for the boys. Well, Nakazawa is getting in the ring or getting into business because he's Kenny Omega's baby oil supplier. But anyway, he said, you don't care about Nakazawa, so maybe you care about Riho, intimating that he's going to do something to fucking Riho unless Omega gives him a match. Now, the problem is there is Riho standing there with her little girl's championship belt on her shoulder, with a scared schoolgirl look on her face, 5 feet away from Pac, unrestrained, not tied down. He didn't have a fucking hand on her. And I'm thinking, you know what? If he's threatening her and she looks so scared, the thought might strike her that she should turn around and run away. Because nobody's stopping her. But she didn't. And then, like a fucking gutless pussy, instead of saying, tell you what, Pac, you bastard, you want a match? I'm not scared of you. I'll fight you, but you touch that girl. You touch one hair on her head, and I will make you curse your mother for the day she gave birth to you. No, he just says, oh, okay, I'll take it. Don't do anything. I'll take it. Because his balls had shriveled up to where you couldn't find them with the Hubble telescope. And everybody is saying the same thing that's watching this on TV to Riho. Run away. But she didn't, because it was fake. And then once Olivier accepts the match against this guy that looks like he could fucking kill anybody, Pac, what a fucking badass looking guy he is. Then Pac says, well, I wouldn't harm a girl. Well, okay, now the heel's just got some fucking heat, and I said, but I'm still a nice guy. I mean, he should have said, I would have broke her in fucking half. But instead, he said, well, I wouldn't hurt a girl, but she will, and here comes Nyla Rose, boom, nails fucking Riho from behind, and power bombs her on a table, which didn't fucking break because Riho does not have the body mass to be thrown from 6 feet in the air onto a table and break it. And boy, when those tables don't break, that jarred that little girl up real good, I'm sure. This whole thing was more garbage than I can possibly fucking convey to you in English words.
I agree, although I will say that going to my thesis that I really like the serious tone stuff on the show, I wish Pac was used with someone. Again, mixing him up in this, I thought was how many weeks is Kenny Omega going to be in the ring about to get on the microphone when Pac shows up in the back and does something? This is the 3rd time it's happened.
Well, hopefully all the time, because the alternative is we have to listen to his fucking whiny little voice. But anyway, and now people are saying, well, you said this show was better than fucking NXT. Well,
that says a lot about NXT.
Yeah, we'll get to it in a minute, because we come next They did the spooky Darby Allin video where he shot stand-ups of Jericho and Sammy Guevara with a flamethrower, which I guess is okay. They spent a lot of money on that. It lasted about 30 seconds. But then here comes Kip Sabian, super bad. Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford against Jelly Nutella. Super bad is announced at 181 pounds. Fucking hell. And they could get by with 201 to at least make him sound like a grown adult. And yes, everybody said, well, Conor McGregor don't weigh 200 pounds. Kip Sabian don't look like Conor McGregor. I'm going to say yes, sir, to Conor McGregor. I'm going to say, here's $5. Make sure you don't scratch it when you park it to fucking Kip Sabian. Can somebody help Jelly Nutella with his constipation? Because he makes those faces when he comes to the ring. Can somebody help him with a haircut, with a gym membership, with a tanning bed, with well-fitting tights? We had 2 teenage kids having a wrestling school play match and acting like the grown folks here. Jelly has turned to lemon curd. Then they're having this match, and suddenly they stop it to let each other kick them full force, kick each other as hard as they could in the back. I know for people who didn't see this, one of them mared the guy over, and as he's sitting there, fucking kicked him hard in the back. And I think it was Sabian did that, and Jelly doesn't sell it. He bows up and he stands up. And he does the same thing to fucking Sabian or whatever the fuck. They start sitting there so that daring the other one to kick them as hard as possible in the fucking back. And then they go to the break. And then they come back and there's more of this shit going on with just this. And here's where, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm so fucking pissed because Tony don't know this because he's never been in a WWE fucking production meeting, watching party, whatever the fuck. But if I'm Tony Khan, I'm hot because I know now that the WWE executives are fucking horse laughing at their competition right now. So I would be hot about that. It seemed like this would never end. They did some horrible fake forearms. Jim Ross brought out the bowling shoe ugly reference. And I've sat next to him on many occurrences of that, and I can guarantee you it's because he's watching a stupid fucking match that don't make any sense and is klutzy. And then finally, Sabian rolls the guy up after wait a minute, what happened? No, he comes, Penelope Ford is there, Sabian comes like he's going to do something but stops short somewhere. He knocks Penelope Ford off the fucking apron of the ring. She hurt her ankle, it appeared, taking a bump. And then I think Jelly rolled him up. Jelly rolled him up. What the fuck? Don't even say anything about that match if you don't want to.
A bad match, went way too long, not ready for prime time. I mean, there's so much you could say, but here's the other thing. These two guys should be in a feud where they hate each other. Kip Sabian stole Jelly Nutella's girlfriend.
Right.
Meanwhile, when you watch that match...
Which is petty theft, but go ahead.
But when you watch that match, it seemed like two guys, one guy who really hates the other guy and wants revenge, or one guy who just doesn't like the other guy because he heard bad things from the girl and wants to kick his ass. Or was it just another match? I mean, that kick spot in the middle of the match was the stupidest thing. If these two guys hate each other, why would they do that?
First thing I'm going to do when me and Russo finally get into it, whenever that is I'm going to sit down, turn my back on him, and say, go ahead, take a free shot, motherfucker.
Bad layout of the match. Didn't need to be on TV. This should have been on their YouTube show. Not good at all. And the fans in the building seem to feel the same way.
And then suddenly, we're in a different television show. Here comes MJF with Wardlow. Here comes Cody. Guys who look like stars, big entrances, a personal issue. Everything slows down so we can absorb what's going on. MJF, if God forbid, and I know there is no God, so wrestling gods forbid, unless one of these fucking untrained goofs hurts MJF, he will make millions in the WWE. He will be one of the highest paid talents in the WWE one day, whenever it happens, and it will. Just from the time he comes down the ramp, he mocks people, he taunts them, he makes facials. He did the same thing to Cody. It doesn't break character, doesn't wink at anybody. He is who he is. And the only thing I didn't like about this is taking the guy's belt off and using it. I realized, he said, okay, I'm going to take Cody's own belt and I'm going to whip him with it. But they should have got a whipping strap. And I will explain. Because somebody asked on Twitter, how do you work giving somebody lashes? You don't. The only work is the lashing implement. The thinner, and I'm not talking about thickness of the leather, I'm talking about thin, like if you got one of those little thin dress belts, it's only like 3/4 of an inch wide, right? Rather than a jean belt that's a couple inches wide. The thinner the belt is, the more it hurts and the less noise it makes. The thicker and wider the belt is, the less it hurts, the more noise it makes, and the better the marks look. I'm not talking about the fans, I'm talking about the actual welts. So they should have had a special whipping strap that they got. I've gotten some of them before for whipping matches and everything. You get it as long as it's flexible, not the thick leather, but flexible. It doesn't have to be thick, but it needs to be wide, and get it where it's broke in a little bit. And then what you do is you apologize ahead of time, and you make sure that you don't whip a guy in the face or wrap around the side and get his nipple or whatever. You bring it straight down across the back, absolutely as hard as you possibly can. Flat, hard across the back. That will cause welts, that will cause bruises, that will bring blood. Done it a bunch of times. If you do that, and also, you don't take the belt and just like hold the belt buckle and have it loose like MJF did. You double it up, because when you double it up, it makes even better noise, because the noise is hitting the back and the other half of the belt hitting the belt at the same time. But otherwise than that, there ain't no work to it. And that thing will light you the fuck up. And when I was in the first Clash of Champions, when I was whipping Bobby Fulton, the Midnighter, holding him over the ropes, and I'm going to town whipping him, I've never heard a poor son of a bitch scream like, Tommy, because he couldn't leave. He had to wait until Tommy came and saved him, right? And Tommy's still fucking selling his goddamn optic nerve injury, and where he got fucking blinded and brutalized by everything else, and he was a little late, and Bobby screamed, Tommy, because goddamn, I was laying it into him. But that's what you got to do. That's how you work lashes. It's not working the lashes, it's what you lash with. But they took their time with it. Cody sold each one a little bit more. The heels came out to watch, which kind of made it important. Double A, Arn Anderson came out to try to support him. Dustin comes out trying to take the rest of the lashes, but no, that's not part of the deal. They took their time again till Cody was near tears. Brandy comes out, which would have been great because his wife is concerned, except that she's been a heel and, her credibility is nil because she's been a heel in that other bad thing. So what the fuck? The only other thing, I thought the last shot to Cody's chest was a little anticlimactic, but then MJF ran over and gave him the football kick through the uprights into the balls right before he ran out of the ring. So that was a good way to end it. But that segment I liked, obviously, because now you want to see the pay-per-view more, to see Cody get even. Cody looked like a stand-up guy with some guts that was going to take this punishment in order to get what he wanted. MJF, and when MJF give Wardlow the belt for the big one that brought the blood, that was fucking great. He's a weasel. It's a different television program. Because Cody knows what he's doing like Jericho, and so does MJF, and the rest of them are fucking lost in the weeds.
The show was bookended by really good, serious stuff. I don't even know if we said it, but Santana, that was the one who Moxley got in the eye. He did a really good fired up promo.
Yes, that's right. It was a backstage, fucking pre-tape or a post-tape or whatever the fuck. Yes,
so, I mean, it was bookended by good stuff. They've got me actually excited. I hope they don't blow it with this cage match. They've actually got me excited to see when Wardlow starts getting physical, because I think he has been perfect in that role with MJF. Perfect. He's been his big Bubba Rogers, and I think he's been great. MJF is just off the charts good. I thought Cody was good here. I thought there was no winking at the camera. And I hate to say that's an accomplishment, but with this show, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like, and I don't know how you could have done it differently, you I'm sure will have an idea, was after the kick in the balls, MJF and Wardlow just ran as fast as they could out of the ring, into the crowd, far away. There was something about them just sprinting out, especially Wardlow. I don't know. There was something about that I didn't like.
Yeah, well, I love MJF running away.
Right, but
because he did what he, but Wardlow being with him, they could have even right before the last lash, they could have anticipated that when they were going over it and said, well, what about the deal is after Wardlow takes that fucking shot, somebody kicks him out of the fucking ring, because that wasn't the deal. So he takes the one shot that brings the blood, and then, no, you got to get out of here, and he has to stay on the floor and give MJF the last one or whatever. That could have avoided that real easily. That's one of those things you bring up at a production meeting if you know what you're doing. What about this guy? We forgot about him.
He shouldn't be afraid of anybody. So whatever it was, have him out of the ring, have him ready for Max to run as fast as he can towards him. But I didn't like the idea of MJF and Wardlow running away.
Yeah.
But I see shit like that, and it gives me some hope. And I just wish they could fill out the rest of that roster with serious. I don't have much hope right now for the tag team division. The women's division is a loss. But with Jericho and Cody, and I like Darby Allin, and obviously other than that video, he wasn't on the show, but at least he works hard and he looks like he lays his stuff in. There's enough good stuff there to give me hope. I just gotta wish that they find a way to cut bait on the shit that doesn't matter, the jelly Nutellas of the show.
They're not going to, because that's all their high school friends, and that's what it's all about, giving your friends jobs. And then help me on this, because my DVR cut off as MJF and Wardlow are going upstairs, an alleged fan, and I saw enough of it to know that obviously it wasn't legitimate, because I've seen plenty of legitimate people fucking come over a rail or whatever and that wasn't it. But then my DVR, it freeze framed right as they were starting to beat the guy, so I didn't see the fucking resolution of it. But
that was it. There was nothing else to it, and it looked like he was wearing trunks, or at least shorts. But
see that, and here's another. That's why in the old days, a lot of promotions would not do the fan out of the stands angle that introduced, like, the big country boy comes in and we make him a wrestler because he threw the heel out of the ring or whatever. But that old fan in the stands angle would give the people the impression, okay, well, if I jump in the ring from the crowd, then I'm liable to get to be a wrestler. And it would actually increase people jumping into the fucking ring, and in territories that were already having that problem, like Mid-South or anywhere in those days on a weekly basis, where guys were jumping in the ring to try to really attack somebody or fucking cut them or whatever. You didn't want to do that. Now, obviously and it was obvious, I guess, to us, because we've seen it. Maybe it wasn't obvious to everybody that wasn't a real fan. But regardless, that gives people the impression, hey, maybe I could get in on this too. And that's not something you really want to fucking do. They're trying to show that MJF's getting all this heat. But I wish he'd have called me, because I can tell you how to make it look a lot better than what it did. Make it look a lot more fucking legitimate. But that's just me.
That angle made me just a little more pissed off that they threw MJF into the pool.
Well, yeah, because that just set them back. But they can't help themselves, because they're not booking wrestling, they're writing Saturday Night Live. And that's the show we said was better than NXT. I'm getting dizzy, so I ain't going to take long. Here's the reason why it was better than NXT. Because except for the Undisputed Era, Pete Dunne, Matt Riddle, and Tommaso Ciampa, and Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, this was just a bunch of shit this week that I didn't want to see with people I didn't want to see doing it. I mean, that's the only way I can say it. I wanted to watch because I specifically wanted to see Charlotte and Rhea Ripley face to face, and they had Bianca Belair in it. And I'm not saying anything bad about Bianca Belair, but it was too busy. I wanted to see fucking Charlotte and Rhea Ripley face to face, do something, lead me to WrestleMania. But instead, both Belair and Rhea team up because they're from NXT to level Charlotte, and it was kind of flat. Charlotte looks like a fucking star. She's one of the better female promos that I've ever seen. Rhea Ripley, as we've said, they've gotten her over. She looks like a fucking star too. And those two together, I can't wait to see the fucking match. You got to work your magic, so I don't have to buy the pay-per-view. I still get to see the fucking match. But it was busy with Bianca Belair. And the only other thing was whatever that the baby faces opposing the Undisputed Era did, the arena brawl, and then the six-man, that's great stuff. And the rest of it was just blah. The six-man, Ciampa hurt his, I was afraid it was his knee, but it's his ankle apparently he hurt. When he was trying to catch whoever was coming off the apron with that fucking flying knee, I don't know. Ciampa, we've talked about, has had multiple knee surgeries, multiple all kind of surgeries. He was doing that Project Ciampa where he picks the guy up, powerbomb position, and drops him on both his knees. He was doing that in Ring of Honor after he'd had ACL reconstruction, and he's still doing it. And it just scares the shit out of me. I don't know why he's doing that, but he's not going to put any injury over, I guess. But it was nonstop action in the match, but it all made sense at the same time. You could tell who was pitching and who was catching. I thought Pete Dunne looked better than I've seen him. Kyle O'Reilly is better than ever. Adam Cole is fantastic. And they had a wild-ass fight and a wild-ass six-man tag. And they didn't even have to give away a finish. Roddy hopped in. They got the heels DQ'd, which was perfect to continue things. They get some heat afterwards. The only thing I didn't like, here comes Velveteen Dream. What the fuck? Some wild, sloppy bullshit and cleared the ring all by himself. I thought that was as rotten as a fucking green apple. But otherwise than that, but that was the show. There was nothing else on the show that I even wanted to stop and not fast forward through.
Did you watch the Gargano Finn Balor face-off promo?
No, because I like Finn Balor, but Johnny Gargano, I'm sorry. I just can't fucking, no. Was it any good?
It was all right. It was a little too hokey for me. I don't know. I wasn't crazy about it. I thought it was good from Gargano. I thought Finn Balor was a little too acting the role of a heel as opposed to being heel. Others will disagree. I agree with you about
Did Gargano have a facial expression?
He was angry. He was
really
angry, Gargano. Yeah.
Son of a gun.
I agree with you about Kyle O'Reilly. He is, I could watch him more and more. He is really, really good. And I really enjoy.
Hey, I can say this now in public. Because I think there's a statute of limitations or whatever. Davey Richards used to just say some just insane things in public. And here was the deal. When Kyle O'Reilly was in Ring of Honor, he was a Canadian citizen. And when he was in Ring of Honor before Sinclair, and then finally he ended up getting married and got things taken care of, married an American citizen. He didn't have any papers. He had moved from Vancouver to live with Davey Richards over in St. Louis to train MMA and wrestling and to work, right? He didn't have any paperwork. So that's why he never went back home, because if he went back home, he's afraid he couldn't come back. Well, we knew this, and obviously, that's why. Same thing with Michael Elgin. Everybody said, why didn't they put the belt on Michael Elgin when he first got really over? Because he could have been kicked out of the country at any minute, and I couldn't talk fucking Sinclair Broadcasting into paying for paperwork for these people. At one point, I was taking pictures and going through. I've spent about $1,000 on a lawyer to get Elgin's paperwork on the theory that he could pay me back if we could get him booked in Japan and shit. Glad I didn't go through with that, because then he fucking went nuts. But Davey Richards one time was talking about what a great match that Kyle O'Reilly had somewhere or something, but he actually said on the internet, and see, here's a guy that's so dedicated he moved here and doesn't even have any paperwork, but he's working hard. Delirious calls me and said, "Do you see what Davey Richards said?" I'm like, oh my fucking God. And we called Davey and said, "Take that shit down, you idiot. right? But who would have thought when he was yes.
Did he take it down?
He took it down. Finally, he got as somebody else put it up. I just did the interview. I said, find the motherfucker. And so, yeah, but who would have thought when Kyle O'Reilly was Davey Richards' tag along, and we thought Davey Richards was the next coming of the Dynamite Kid, that it's going to turn around and 7 years later, Davey Richards is out of the wrestling business and Kyle O'Reilly is one of the best workers in it. Thank God he didn't get kicked out of the fucking country. That's the kind of shit. Everybody's like, well, if Cornette's booking wasn't on point in Ring of Honor. Yeah, because every morning I'd wake up and I'd hear somebody had been on the roster had been outed as an illegal alien, or fucking Davey done a dine and dash in fucking Iowa with some promoter tried to stiff him on his money or whatever the fuck. Or the Sinclair office is calling us up because we made a deal with some outlaw promoter to split Mike Bennett's plane ticket to New York. So he's on the show in New York the night before he's on our show in front of 72 people on some outlaw show. And they're like, should our talent be working ahead of time? You know, yeah, in a fucking closet in Brooklyn because we saved half his plane ticket. Let us do the fucking wrestling, Greg. You know, that was constant with it. I'm surprised I didn't have a goddamn nervous breakdown.
You know, I'm surprised AEW didn't totally destroy NXT. I'm surprised NXT did as well as they did in the ratings this week. Because it was just such a rotten show to me.
Well, but no. Think about this. Do you know the food at the new restaurant you've just tried is rotten before you eat it? Or do you know not to go back and eat it again? That's what everybody says. Well, such and such was a rotten show and such was a great show. Okay, that's going to reflect next week. Not when it's actually happening. We don't know it was a rotten show until we fucking saw it and realized that was a rotten show. So the more rotten shows you do, the more it affects your future ratings, not the rating at the time. Does that make any sense?
It makes perfect sense.
But nobody, well, see, it was a 10 rating over here and a 4 rating over there. Well, the 10 rating could have been the worst show ever fucking aired or broadcast, but they got a 10 rating because they've done some good shows. Whereas the 4 could have been the best show ever, but they got the 4 because they'd done a bunch of shitty shows before that. There you go. I don't know.
All right.
I'm dizzy and I'm fucking sick. And by the way, I've lost 11 pounds in 10 days, folks. Congratulate me. Or did I say that before? I'm starting to repeat myself because I'm delirious. You close the fucking show.
Well, that's it for another incendiary edition of the Jim Cornette Experience. Find out which friendship will burn down next week here on the show. For everyone wondering, the drive-thru as of right now is on schedule for its normal Monday afternoon release. We're going to be recording it tomorrow as we're recording this.
Well, but now tomorrow may be Monday by the time they hear this.
Well, that's true. As we are recording this on Saturday, we are planning on recording the drive-thru tomorrow, wherever it is that you find your favorite podcast. Go to Cornette's Collectibles, JimCornette.com. Follow Jim on Twitter at the Jim Cornette. You can follow me on Twitter at Great Brian Last. I'm doing the ending of the drive-thru here.
Yes, but YouTube,
tinyurl.com/official corny YouTube, or just go to YouTube and search for Jim Cornette for all the full episodes, clips of episodes, and omnibus collections that are currently available. Much, much more to come. But until the drive-thru tomorrow, I think, and the experience back on Friday this coming week.
Possibly.
For Jim Cornette, I'm the Great Brian Last. I get along with everybody. Tally-ho!